Hello, everybody. Good morning. We are live. It is Tuesday, June 16th. I'm already trying to do two things at once here. How are we doing? How was the night? Long time no see. Not really. Um, anyway, okay. So we have a few things to talk about today, and I want to lead with the first order of business. Websites are going down. Yes, they are. The websites are going down. So, it's inexplicable. It's mysterious. It's unexplainable. I do not know why. I do not know why. Someone has to send her a fairy Lego. No. Oh yeah. Did y'all see the fairy Batman Lego? I don't know if that's AI or what, but I thought it was so cute, so I put that in the thumbnail. All right. So we need to talk about this right here. Okay. So a few days ago we talked about this guy. Okay. Wait. Let's zoom out. I've rearranged the web a little bit. Okay. The web is rearranged a little bit. Okay, so down here we have the Josh and the Brandon, and then we have what's his name, Ammon. We have the brother and what's his name, Dan, the dad. Oh, somebody emailed me last night and said Dan was posting up a storm on his Facebook page last night, the dad. But when I went over there, it was gone, and I have some breaking news. Breaking important news. Dan done deleted the Facebook post that we made that I made the video about the other day. Oh my God, Tyler Swain, tell your boss it's very important. This is a civil rights issue. Hey, Tyler's boss. You should be watching too. Click subscribe. Faster than lizards on the third Friday. What is that? Is that a Mormon reference? I don't know those. Lizards on third Friday. Is that something racist? What does that mean? Oh, Lizards Liquid Lounge? Oh, what would people we'd be getting drunk or something? I don't know what that means. Okay, but yeah, they're going down. Why didn't I do it on a wall in a bedroom with photos, thumbtacks, and red string? Well, here's the thing. I don't have a house big enough for one. I don't have a wall big enough in the house that ain't big enough for two. Three, I didn't want to go buy no red string. I mean, there's a lot to kind of deal with here. And the cool thing about these is you can click. So, like, let's say you can put a website. So this right here is actually a YouTube video. So I can just click it and it'll take me to it. That's why I do it here. And also, if I was in my house on a wall, y'all would not be able to follow along. Thank you to me, Walrus, for the $10 super chat. Thanks for doing this. Get these scammers. Well, girl, I do not know if they are scammers or not, but I do know that the website went down. Thank you so much to Todd. Thanks so much to Todd for the $5 super chat. Sheldon Norcross, the police reports supplemental for Salem. Is there any reason why the lawyer Trinity Jordan and Josh Jordan? I don't know who Josh Jordan is. I only know Josh Johnson. Thank you for the, and I think his wife's name is Kaylee or Keely or something like that. Don't forget to save backups of your work, LLC. I mean, I try to, but I don't have a data center big enough to save every single thing I come across. Okay, so anyway, we were here and we were talking the other day about this post. I mean, I think it's very important that Josh Johnson has this, advertisement out here. And this is from recent. This is from just March this year. And it's like, protect your wealth, save money on your taxes, whatever. Josh Johnson, the Fortune Law Firm exclusive partner. So I'm sure they would say, if pressed on it, Josh would say, duh, I meant that the Fortune Law Firm and me are exclusive. I'm the exclusive partner to the Fortune Law Firm, the Fortune's. And I'm sure. And that's why I ran a poll. And almost 600 of y'all voted and said you would have thought this meant he was a lawyer. Almost, listen, argue with the crowd, argue with the votes, don't argue with me. As a consumer, I would have thought this meant he was a lawyer at the Fortune Law Firm. Come to find out, I don't think he is. But The Fortune law firm works with Fortress Management. And we also talked about Fortress Management. Remember that? Talking about Fortress Management. Joshua Johnson was one of the organizers, whatever. I made a whole video on it. I clicked on it. This guy shows up, Art McComber, and he's the owner on the Fortress. It's like owner. But then when you go to the Wayback Machine, there was Josh Johnson. Remember when the picture wouldn't pop up for him and had a question mark, but the picture popped up for this guy? And then we looked into his background, and he's an FBI, a former FBI agent. And somebody commented, either left a comment on the live or on the comments section itself, and was like, I would doubt if this guy was even an actual former FBI agent. Is there a way to validate or confirm that assertion? And I was like, oh, good point. So I went to, online or whatever, and I was just Googling around, and it turns out it does look like there was definitely an FBI agent, Special Agent Art McComber. So, I mean, if so, I guess it could be this guy. So, I mean, it looks like he was actually in the FBI, which doesn't surprise me in the least. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why Josh Johnson is so comfortable acting a damn fool. Because he knows he's, what are you going to do to him? He's a co-owner of Fortress Management with this FBI agent, a former. So, we looked at that website. And I had actually found evidence online that Art McComber as well was affiliated not only with Fortress Management, not only with the FBI, not only with Joshua Johnson, but also with, drum roll, Legally Mine, yay! Yep, yeah, so let me show y'all that article. This is a Yahoo Finance article from a long time ago, I think 2015 or something. Oh, yeah, 2015. Normally, this is Salt Lake City, Utah. Normally, hearing you're getting a visit from an FBI special agent is not something one would expect from an educational conference. And even though Art McComber retired his badge some time ago, this is like an 11-year-old article, by the way, this 15-year veteran still has an intimidating presence at 6'7". Girl, they snatched the giants right up out of Agartha and they put them in the FBI, and now they're terrorizing us and deleting their websites. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. It's called a joke. 6'7". That's a tall man. Attending guests at the 2015 Central Texas Optometric, girl, I don't know how to say that, Society Spring Conference, which was held in Austin. The attendees, guests, they're not calling them attendees, they're calling them guests. The attending guests at the 2015 Texas Optometry Society Spring Conference, they listened keenly to Mr. McComber's, former Special Agent McComber's, presentation on the importance of asset protection for professionals. Okay, cool, great. All right, so they're all in this asset protection thing. Got it. The seminar was well attended and included leaders from the optometric community. CTOS organizer Dr. Lacey Smith hosted and conducted the event, granting guests insight. Why they got an apostrophe right there? They don't belong there. Insight into upcoming events for the year. Art McComber, lead educator for Legally Mine LLC. Oh, that's a good little nugget. That is a good little hat he's wearing, isn't it? Let me put it on my web. Hold on. Lead educator. Educator. I also want to put that on the way back. Machine. Okay, so this is how. Let's see if anyone saved it before. Yep, somebody. Might have been me. Who saved this? When was it? June 14th. Yeah, probably was me. Could have been one of y'all. I mean, I know there's a lot of people on it. Let me see. Just want to save it again. Because y'all know, I mean, stuff goes down. Okay. The seminar was well attended. Art McComber, lead educator for Legally Mine, LLC, shared his extensive knowledge about legal issues in their industry. What industry? Importance of asset protection for all professionals. Oh, the optometric. Okay, the optometry industry. Okay, got it. About legal issues in their industry. Okay, that makes sense. A 15-year veteran of the FBI, he successfully transitioned into the world of business and has become a seasoned executive who specializes in helping people of all backgrounds achieve maximum health. What? Elevated Life Inc. I didn't even see this when I saw this article the first time. What the hell? A 15-year veteran of the FBI, Art McComber successfully transitioned into the world of business and has become a seasoned executive who specializes in helping people of all backgrounds achieve maximum health through great nutrition with his company, Elevated Life Inc. Well, it ain't an LLC. I noticed that. In 2013, he began working with Legally Mine to promote asset protection and tax reduction to the healthcare industry. He's conducted hundreds of seminars, this former FBI special agent, over the course of his career and is responsible for helping numerous people protect their assets and reduce their tax liabilities. Sorry, I'm updating my web with this 2013 number. As McComber's background has dealt with the legal world from the standpoint of an enforcer of the law, he provides a unique, and then he was an enforcer of the law and he wants to be business partners and co-owners with the likes of Joshua Johnson.
That's a class 2 misdemeanor. That's a class 2 misdemeanor. I want her arrested.
He was too angry. He was so angry that he was out of his mind, incoherent, and unreliable by his own admission. That's who this former FBI special agent with a background from the standpoint of an enforcer of the federal law. Wow. He provides a unique perspective which has added to the value of his education. Oh, to the value, his education. What does that mean? He provides, okay, look at this long ass sentence. It's 4 lines long. As McComber's background has dealt with the legal world from the standpoint, is this the unauthorized practice of law or is this man a lawyer? He has dealt with the legal world. This is like when Lima was like saying she was a health expert by not saying she was a mental health care expert through firsthand experience with family. That was so weird. As McComber's background has dealt with the legal world from the standpoint of an enforcer of the law. You know, that sentence could have just said, as an enforcer of the law, comma, McComber's background has dealt with the legal world. And then we wouldn't have had to have all of this. Or it could have been, McComber provides a unique perspective, which adds to the value of his education, period. His background has dealt with the legal world as a law enforcement officer. I mean, there's like so many ways y'all could have made this better. This is terrible. This perspective, they got all these degrees amongst them. Okay. They got degrees in journalism. They got degrees in psychology. They got degrees in, I don't know, whatever in the hell else. They got all of this. They want to pretend to be this. They want to pretend to be that. And not one of them got an English degree. And I can tell, and it shows. Okay. This perspective has shaped how the company functions within the legal and financial realms. We're in the realms now. He recently took the role of mentoring upcoming educators. Okay, so he's training other people. He's training other people how to go out and do their own little speeches at the little conferences and the little summits. Got it. Mentoring upcoming educators and presenters, including physicians, financial brokers, etc. Teaching them how to effectively provide a down to earth approach. I am so freaking sure. Have you ever, I've never met a special agent, I don't believe, not to my knowledge, at the FBI. I did have the occasion to speak with one on the phone before. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was in India, and he was a former special agent, just like this guy, and he actually worked at something to do with like the twin, like the 9/11 stuff when the twin towers went down and all of that. He was like involved with that and stuff. His name's Kenneth Maxwell, and I do wonder if he's like in any way related to like Ghislaine Maxwell, but I mean that's a story for another day, or like in any way like fourth, fifth, 17th cousin, whatever. But anyway, so yeah, I did talk to him on the phone, and he pretended like he was vetting this hit piece documentary. Well, I mean, I say pretended. I mean, that's what he told me, but it doesn't seem like he really was, because there was a hit piece documentary that came out about me and Bam Margera. As y'all may know, I am the founder, the leader of the very successful Free Bam movement. And when that was going on, I mean, the reason that I started doing that at all, I mean, it was kind of similar to this. Like, I don't care about what the guy from Jackass or whatever is doing, really. I just don't care. But I got wind that he was in a conservatorship and that he was being held in a rehab against his will for months and months and months and months, and no one had heard from him. The last that anybody had heard from him was these tabloid articles that had said that he had gotten into like a physical altercation at a hotel. So it was unclear if he was in rehab or jail or alive. I mean, nobody had heard from him. Even like Steve-O and Brandon Novak, they did a podcast episode, talked about Bam, and then both of them were like, yeah, we haven't talked to him. He's in a conservatorship. We haven't talked to him. Last time we talked to him was June, and it was like December. And I was like, okay, well, what the hell? Where's this guy? Where's Bam Margera? So I start, looking for him, end up finding out that he wasn't in a conservatorship. AKA guardianship. They're the same thing. So if I'm saying conservatorship, like some states that call it a conservatorship, some call it a guardianship. A few states actually do recognize some type of difference, but in general, it's like taking away somebody's rights and giving it to somebody else. So that's the same thing to me. Some deals with property, some deals with medicine, some deals with all of it. It's, whatever. You basically become someone's owner. You can own them. You can own their rights. You can own their rights. I think that's profoundly unconstitutional. I think if somebody is up and around and walking and talking and especially generating money for an enterprise, then they should be able to have their rights. And if they can't have their rights without committing a freaking crime, then they should go to jail. That's what jail is for. That is not what slavery is for. But anyway, don't get me started, okay? During that time, hold on, let me find this. During that time that I was advocating for Bam, reading his court papers. I don't think this web program existed yet, but I absolutely would have had a web, watching videos and all of that and doing that research. The people that I was researching into did not like it. And I don't know how, girl, somehow, some way, they ended up, I believe, getting a documentary company to make a documentary, pretty much trying to make me look bad. And the crazy thing, this is one of the things that completely made me lose truly all the faith that any faith that I had left in the so-called mainstream media. Every documentary, I'm completely ruined. I am completely, absolutely traumatized about documentaries. I'll be watching a documentary, like for example, y'all know number one in Netflix right now, not sponsored. The number one documentary on Netflix right now in the movies section is number one in movies, rather. I don't know about documentaries. The number one in the movie section is this kind of like documentary about this this lady who, I'm not going to spoil it. Y'all don't spoil it in the thing because it is number one. People might actually be going to watch this, whatever. People might be going to watch this or planning to. Anyway, it's about this lady and it's like the body cam or whatever. And so I'm only halfway through. I go to sleep early, so I'm gonna have to watch the rest of it tonight. But it's this is in the trailer, so I think I can say this part. She appears to fake a pregnancy, and she ends up like getting pulled over by a state trooper, and then she has this like baby that obviously was just born with the umbilical cord and stuff still attached, and she's got it in the front seat with her and she's driving it, and it's not her baby. She didn't have that baby. And so the movie is kind of like trying to figure that out. Anyway, even while I'm watching that documentary last night, it's so obvious, right, that it's her. She did something wrong. Everybody's on the same team, and here I am going, they stole her baby to sacrifice it. Nope, that was her baby. They're all lying on her. And I know that, I tell y'all that example because it is something where it's like, okay, no, it's like really obvious. Like there was no sign at all whatsoever that she had a baby, delivered a baby rather. I didn't finish the documentary. I don't know how it ends, but I'm just telling you, like my like trust of any documentary now is completely shattered, completely destroyed. And it's because of this hit piece that came out about me and Bam, Margera. So, hold on. And other people, like his conservator and her sisters and stuff like that. So in this documentary, they include these people that are supposedly my fans, okay? These people are lunatics and they are complete liars. And they said that I had done things that I hadn't done. They said that I had said things that I hadn't done. And this was a freaking full-on operation. There were things that happened, looking back, in retrospect, there were things that happened along the way that was set up. They were absolutely trying to set me up. This relates to the story. This relates to what we're talking about. Just stay with me. We have many hours again today, okay? Didn't they just find a bunch of kids from the New York, kids on the New York sewers? I think that's where they pulled these ops from. They pulled them up out of the sewers. They look like sewer rats. They looked like New York City sewer rats. And these people were supposed to be my fans. Y'all, I could literally talk about this for like a whole hour. I really could talk about this for a whole hour and it would still be given the short version, but I'm not going to. The point is, they try to set me up. Someone, whoever the they is, I don't know. But absolutely someone did, because those people were all working together. Some of them ended up filing paperwork in court that was lies, and then they recanted their statement and said that they were told to write those statements. They got busted coordinating, collaborating, we'll say, with the person who was suing me. It was a full-on lawfare and PR social media attack, and it was really difficult to get through. Even though I had the truth on my side and I was doing the right thing, it was very difficult. They assassinated my character. They harassed me. One Twitter account tweeted about what I was wearing in court, and I hadn't even said what I was wearing. So it's like, oh, okay, letting me know that I'm being stalked. Okay, good. So because I didn't see anybody there other than like the person suing and stuff like that. And so, I mean, why would she be tweeting from some random account and not her own account? You know what I mean? So when they were running that hit piece documentary, hold on. When they were doing first of all, they did not reach out to me to interview me. They were going to be doing a documentary about the Free Bam movement, and they weren't bothering to reach out to the founder and the leader of the Free Bam movement, right? So anyway, I got wind of the documentary because they had posted about it online, and I made a video about it. And I was like, did y'all know there's going to be a documentary about the Free Bam movement? And they haven't reached out. And it was like months and months before they had posted it. And they haven't reached out to the leader and the founder of the Free Bam movement. They had advertised they were going to be interviewing Steve-O, the clown from Jackass. They were going to be interviewing some of Bam's family members. They had also said they had exclusive something with Bam. And they had interviewed my, op, Lima, the one who sued me and keeps losing and losing and now owes my lawyers like $100,000 or so. They had advertised they were going to be interviewing with her. Then I later end up finding out the CEO and president of the whole company making the documentary was at Lima. The girl, the villain of the story, was at her birthday party. Why in the hell would the CEO and the president of the documentary company be at her birthday party? I mean, it's pretty obvious what it was to me. But anyway, it was during that period of time. I mean, I made a video saying that I think the documentary is going to be biased and a hit piece because they haven't reached out. They haven't bothered reaching out to me. How the hell are you going to be working on a documentary about the free band movement 4 months and not reach out to me? But they were reaching out to these other clowns that I think were just hired, like from Central Casting or whatever. And so they go on the documentary and they saying stuff that didn't happen. One of them said that I talked to him and told him to dox people. I told him to harass people. I have never been in the presence of that man, never spoken to that man, never direct messaged that deplorable, crusty clown. Never in my life. And he was a bull. I should sue. I should sue for brand dilution or whatever it's called. I should sue for economical harm that people in the world think that I had anything to do with that thing. Okay, that's honestly where I am with it. Never talked to him, never spoke to him. He's on there talking about I told him to go harass somebody and stalk somebody. I mean, these people were, something was wrong with them. But that's what made me realize that HBO, Netflix, whoever, they'll put anything. They'll put any old lie right there up on your TV. And you can really not even ever know. It's like, who would think that they would put people out there that would just lie, like straight up lie? Like, there's no gray area about it. And just lie. It just lie. It kind of like glitches a good person, a regular human's brain to think about being able to so easily lie. And I did end up talking to them. You know, after I made my video, they reached out finally. So and so did DM you last year on Instagram. Well, I was never able to confirm that happened. So if that did happen, I mean, girl, the DM disappeared. But anyway, so I said, look, I don't trust y'all, but it's my right to tell you my side of the story before you publish this documentary to the world. So I'm going to interview with you and I'm going to tell you the truth and what in my side of it. And I will provide evidence to back up every single thing that I say. So I did interview with them. It was like literally being in an interrogation, like a torture. Like it was like probably like 1 or 2 steps below like water torture. It was literally, I think it's banned by the Geneva Convention what I went through for this interview. The biggest, hottest lights in this bright, I mean, I'm sensitive. I don't know if y'all can tell. It's pretty dark in this room. Like I'm very sensitive to light. And they had me under this light. It was like a freaking football stadium light, like 3 feet from my head all day. I think I had a 30-minute or a 1 hour. I think I had a 1 hour break. Maybe it was 30 minutes for, eating and stuff. Now, I will say they offered to buy me lunch. And the people who actually like sat there with me that day and I dealt with them, it was 2 twins, Christian and Jackson, and they no longer work for this company. I have no contact with them at all after that day. But they actually were decent and fine. I'm not going to hold anything against them. But like, and the camera guy was kind of nice too. But other than that, like this whole company, oh my God, ew. And so after I interviewed with them, they kept trying to pester me. They kept trying to pester me to keep going and doing more interview or asking more or whatever. And I'm like, no, I told y'all my story. I told you what needed to be said. If you need proof to back up anything that I said, then ask me for that. So then this FBI guy reaches out to me. Kenneth Maxwell. And I was in India at the time. So time zones are like very, almost flipped. Like when it's day here, it's night there kind of thing. And so I end up talking to him and come to find out he's the like documentary fact checker. Like he's the fact checker of the documentary. A former FBI special agent, I mean, that really lends a lot of credibility to your company and your documentary. So I actually was kind of like, all right, well, surely nothing's going to get run in this documentary that's just fake if they have this FBI special agent putting his seal of approval on this documentary. Kenneth, you dirty for that. You are dirty for, that shit was not true, what they put out there. And you know what else too? At the very end of the documentary, it's like this real dramatic lead out of the documentary and this black screen comes up and it's like these white letters and it's like, Yevremovich, that's the crazy bitch's name, has sued Corville and it is pending outcome, whatever. Do you know they left out that I had already won many times against her in court? Do you know they left out that I had been successful on an anti-slap motion of being awarded tens of thousands of dollars by her to me. Pay me what you owe me. You know what I mean? And they left that out. They just left up, there's litigation pending. The litigation had been dismissed several times. And the stuff that had been decided finally was all dismissed, and she owed me money and she got sanctioned. I'm literally the creditor. She's the debtor or deadie. Deadie, right? No, debtor. Girl, I don't know. She owes my lawyers. I'll say that. So the documentary left all that out. And this special agent, this ex-retired 9/11 special agent guy was the fact checker. So now, girl, you could be anybody and you could be coming from anywhere, educated anywhere. I gotta see the track record, because this whole former FBI special agent, that don't impress me not one bit. Not even in the least. That all is gonna be important in our next topic. But anyway. So back to Art McComber. As Legally Mine continues to grow. Well, let's read the previous sentence that we did read, just to remind where we were. McComber has recently taken the role of mentoring upcoming educators and presenters, including physicians, financial brokers, etc., teaching them how to effectively provide a down-to-earth approach to asset protection. Okay, so basically he's training the speakers on how to do the speeches. Got it. As Legally Mine, LLC continues to grow, Art will continue to be an important factor in developing valuable relationships. What does this sentence even mean? And it's long. Now we're on 5-sentence long sentences. 5-line long sentences. As Legally Mine continues to grow, Art will continue to be an important factor in developing valuable relationships with industry-leading providers. So he's going to be an important factor in the sales pitches. Bring the best options for financial success to the medical, dental, and business owners' worlds. He concluded his remarks to the society. As he concluded his remarks at the summit, he left each attendee with the hope that they could implement the strategies discussed, leaving behind the worry that plagues them daily. Scare tactic. The worry they might lose it all in a lawsuit. Art is optimistic that efforts to bring this information more full to the masses, such as attended this seminar. Girl, what is this? Will help to bring out days of more level-headed litigation that is fair to all parties involved. This is, girl, please. Founded over 30 years ago by the father of asset protection, Jay Mitten. Although he has retired, Legally Mine continues the legacy of asset protection. Legally Mine has been the leading provider of asset protection education within asset protection education. What are they doing the most seminars? Not asset protection. They've been the leading provider of asset protection education. Girl. Within the medical and dental world for over 20 years, on-staff attorneys, financial experts help thousands of customer meet their asset protection and tax reduction needs. Their highly trained staff has, on-staff attorneys, unauthorized practice of law, advertisement. I mean, that was mentioned in the Ohio case. Their highly trained staff has helped educate hundreds of thousands of individuals from all walks of life on asset protection. Legally Mine prides itself. It's a one LLC anyway, on being able to help professionals know how to protect any property, personal or professional. Do y'all know, side note, I went and looked up Joshua Johnson's public address, and I looked into the public property records, and he actually literally does not have his house in a trust. It's him and his wife. In the public records, him and his wife own that house. Now, if you're wondering, did I look up Brandon Best? Yes, I did. His house is in a trust. somebody's living trust, not his trust though. I mean, it might be his, but the name on it is Jackie something, and that's a public record that was public and still is right now. And then I also looked up, so because I had to do the FOIA request, the public records, it's called Grandma in Utah, but I had to do the grandma request, girl. And so I had to look up Daniel McNuff's address. His house is owned by a trust as well, the Daniel J. something something trust or something. But Joshua Johnson been doing all these speeches and all this asset protection and liability protection. And do you know that the corporate veil has done been pierced directly because him and his wife he done put his wife's house on the line for it all. Anyway. Legally Mind prides themselves on being able to help professionals, blah, blah, blah. They're typically, from being taken in a lawsuit, they're typically able to implement tax saving strategies that save people an average of $7,000 a year in taxes. Legally Mind can help customers in all 50 states and continues to stay up to date on laws in all 50 states. See, this like helping in all 50 states thing got them in trouble in Ohio whenever they got in trouble for the unauthorized practice of law. Free consultations to customers, accountants, CPAs, attorneys. Free consultations to attorneys. Attorneys are getting the Legally Mind service, according to this advertisement in Yahoo Finance. And other financial advisors. So other financial advisors is very ambiguous. It sounds almost like they're saying they are financial advisors. You see how it Legally Mind can help other financial advisors. Sure, that could mean all different types, or it could mean they are financial advisors. Do you see what I'm saying? Put a one in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Okay. They know the more involved a client's advisors are in the asset protection and tax reduction process, the better they will be able to help each client once it is all in place. Legally Mind is based in Orem, Utah, and is invited to present at over 250 events per year. Legally Mind is the most cost-effective asset protection company firm in the U.S. While other firms may sell self-help kits or cost tens of thousands of dollars, that's probably what you need. You probably need the ones that cost tens of thousands. Just to get started, Legally Mind keeps their options flexible and achievable on any budget. Well, not really. You have to have like at least $1,800, I think. It is the mission and the goal of Legally Mind to eliminate the fear of lawsuits, frivolous or otherwise. Oh, even if you mess somebody over, it's the vision and goal that you can't get sued for it. They crazy. They are crazy. So that's Art McComber. He used to work as the lead educator for Legally Mind. He worked with or for Legally Mind for at least 2 years, from 2013 to 2015. But then he moved on, or maybe he still is with them, but he also, or whatever, can be associated with this company right here, Fortress Management. We did take a look at this company earlier in the series. This is the page, how it used to appear on the Wayback Machine. Joshua Johnson was there. This is as of 2023. Art McComber, as a young man, he spent his mission, his 2 years, his Mormon mission, in southern Germany. He became fluent in German. He went to BYU. He graduated with a bachelor's in German studies and education. A year later, he went to the FBI. He was sought out for the German language skills after graduating new agent training in Quantico. Special Agent McComber was assigned to San Diego Division, where he investigated, arrested, and successfully prosecuted, blah, blah, blah. He owned and operated companies. Okay, so that's what the website used to look like. That is, as you can see right there, fortressmanagement.io, our -team. Okay, that was 2023. What happens when you, well, they had also updated the website, I don't know, somewhat recently to eliminate Josh. Josh was not on there at some point. You know, he was on there, and then I think this bricks and minifigs stuff hit the fan, and then Josh all of a sudden was not on there anymore or whatever, but, you know, the Wayback Machine thankfully had it. This is what it looks like now. Seriously, you haven't heard from their lawyers yet? I'm shocked if they didn't try to silence you with all your digging up. I'm not digging up anything. Everything that I'm digging up is on the internet. I've not left this chair. I have not left this chair to dig anything up. Everything I dug up is public. Y'all haven't seen me not do not one interview. Y'all haven't seen me share a GoFundMe. Y'all haven't seen me showing up to no protest. Everything I've dug up is just online. And most of the stuff, I would say 90% of the stuff I dug up, other people already dug up. So I think the thing that makes me so lethal is I have stamina to sit here and do it all day like this. And I'm pretty good at, communication. So I can kind of like explain things. But like there's people that have dug up way, way, way more than me. And they like, there's some people that are out here digging up stuff. I don't even know how they got it. Okay. And all that, is because it's been made public. But I'm not digging anything up. Everything I'm digging up, they said, Dan McNeff, the father of the spawn that have caused all of this ruckus, he invited us to investigate. He said nobody investigates truly. So I'm trying to be an inspiration and a light unto his path to let him know somebody investigates truly. And I haven't even had to leave my chair, Nick Corden. That's interesting. Yeah, hyperfocus. Yeah. Anyway, this is what the website looks like now. It's gone. So this is like in the last few days, the Fortress Management io.team. So what if you just go to the regular website now? It just says coming soon. Womp womp. Womp womp womp. So where's that website? Why did they take it down? Why did they take it down? Because all I did was show y'all what they put up in their public advertising material. Surely they didn't take it down because of something I said. Because, this was on there. This was on there already. Like, why? I didn't say nothing. I just said, look, let's read it. And I also don't think that there's anything such thing as a former FBI. I said that. But look, this is December. May 2024. Art McComber. January 2025. May 2025. June 13th. This 3 days ago. Now, June 13th, as you can see, Joshua had gotten taken off of here. And if you go early on, it's in these earlier times. I want to remind y'all of the other lady that was on here, Nadalyn Lewis. Remember her name. Okay, this was on their public website. This is on their public website. This was back in 2023, 3 years ago, Nadalyn Lewis. All right, so remember that name. That'll come up later. But yeah, girl, they done deleted it. It's gone. Coming soon. Why'd they do that? What's wrong? Was something wrong with the website, or I don't get it. I don't get it. Another reason they probably didn't come after me is because I win. I win defamation lawsuits and I win attorney's fees. They will be having to pay me my attorney's fees after that defamation lawsuit. Yes, they will. And even if they don't sue me for defamation, if they sue me for harassment, if they sue me for stalking, which is obviously not what I'm doing, in an effort to chill my speech, that is still a slap suit. I know that. Their lawyers know that, and they don't want to tangle. No lawyers is going to be getting their money if all the money got to come to me. Put the lid on the pot before you hide it. Well, this is the thing. I guess I am being cute to some extent. Like, it's kind of hard not to be cute when you're so cute. But why? Because of what? I could go to Google. I could go to apple.com. I could go to anybody's website today. Is every person whose website I go to going to pull it and take it down? No. If I had gone over there and said, everybody, go contact Art and violent threat. No. On the contrary, I have a scrolling banner below that says do not even contact anybody that I mention in my videos. And I keep saying it over and over. I'm not saying they did anything illegal. I'm not even really saying they did anything wrong. The only thing I was trying to figure out was who is Art McOmer, because he's a business partner to Joshua Johnson, who is all up in this bricks and minifigs. I mean, he's the one that made the false police reports, in my opinion. He told the police the vast majority of the stuff in the back of the bricks and the minifig store was layaway. And then when CoffeeZilla asked him why in the hell he said that, he said, "Oh, I was angry." That's fake. Never happened. That's a misdemeanor. Is that a misdemeanor? Let me look it up. It's a Mr. Class 2 misdemeanor. Let me see. Is lying to the, let's say false statement. Is making a false statement to the police in Oregon a crime? Class 2 misdemeanor? Yes. Initiating a false report, knowingly making a false report in Oregon. It's a crime. Class A misdemeanor. Class A misdemeanor. It's a Class A misdemeanor. Oh, wait. Class A misdemeanor. Class A misdemeanor. False report to the... He said I was angry and out of my mind and incoherent and unreliable. Well, did you ever call the cops back and tell them you had said something inaccurate? No, probably not. So I'm curious how that guy is business partners, co-owners of some type of management, financial type of looking type of firm with a former special agent in the FBI. I think put a 2 in the chat if you think that's an issue of public concern. Are you concerned with how Josh Johnson ended up being the co-owner of Fortress Management, which appeared to be some type of financial services firm to me? As a consumer, that's what it appeared to be to me. Monkey said 2. Ani Santiago said 2. Valhalla, shout out to Valhalla, said 2. Naga Rajananda. Oh my God, what a cool name. Rajananda. I love that. Yeah, Trail Tunchiva Pokey. Okay, so y'all are concerned. So I mean, all of us are concerned. Well, that wasn't in public. It was in view of the public, but technically your front porch is your private property. And I checked, he does own that house with his wife. Nagarajananda. That's because I'm taking Sanskrit. That's why. Naga means snake. Raja means like royal. Ananda means bliss. Right? Concerned we are. Concerned we are. Oh my God. Oh my God. See, Gorianna got you. My Sanskrit name is Gorianna Vyasa Naga, just so you know. No, Gorianna Vyasanath. That's my Sanskrit name. That's my pen name, Gorianna Vyasanath. Not Naga, Nath, but Naths and Nagas. You know where I'm going with that. You know why I said that. Stop it. Oh my God. Yeah. Nityanandam. Girl, know what that means. Nityanandam. I could say them though. If you wrote in Sanskrit, I could read it too. Anyway, okay. Okay. We'll do the Sanskrit lesson later. Josh's house is not in a trust. No, it is not. Okay, so I just wanted to let y'all know the team page is completely 404 not found. And then when you go to the main page that we were just on 3 days ago, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. Okay, so now I want to move to the next topic, and that requires me to pull this photo up. One moment, please. Okay. Girl, I got a fan. Obsessed. In a matter of just a short while, was just commenting and commenting and commenting. Okay. I had tried to give Bricks and Minifigs some PR advice to end this for everybody, and also, the man sells to get them some justice, and Ben so he could stop being persecuted by the tyrannical state. And he comments, this fan, the CEO owns the company. I doubt he'll be firing himself. And it's like, oh, tell me you're a stupid idiot. Tell me you're a stupid idiot who never took a business class without telling me. You know that CEOs step down all the time and they don't stop owning companies? Anyway, so I was going to let it go. Then here he goes. Oh my God, you just latch on to every kind of drama you can find. I'm sure you'll find a way. And I'm like, okay, first of all, dude, shut up. I'm sick and damn tired of people trying to tell me what to do. I'm going to tell you that I'm sick and damn tired. And so I'm like, no, you know what? This is welcome to your freaking tape, you stupid ass. I want to just read just his little stupid comments. Now he's hidden from the channel. He's gonna have to make a new channel just to be able to comment over here. But my God, and this is on the is he unauthorized practice of a lawyer, which is a very, of all the public interest and concern, of all the things that are of public interest and concern, I think this unauthorized practice of law thing is one of the bigger things. From a personal perspective, yes, Brian Mansell lost his whole Lego collection and all of that. There's definitely a lot of victims in this situation. But if you think about the scale of Legally Mine, the fact that they got $300,000 to $400,000 a month, apparently according to what they said in their lawsuits, coming into Legally Mine. Josh worked at Legally Mine. Art worked at Legally Mine. Ammon was the president of Legally Mine and owner of Legally Mine. During the time, he also owned Bricks and Minifigs, which also apparently Legally Mine owned Bricks and Minifigs or something like that. We found that out yesterday. So I think a video saying, hey, public, here's a public advertisement that's calling this guy an exclusive partner of a law firm, and it's a lecture about saving money on your taxes. Would you think that that was a lawyer? This company, Legally Mine, already got in trouble for the unauthorized practice of law because precisely, it hurts consumers to think that they're getting legal advice when they're not. So it's a pretty important thing to be talking about, whether you're a lawyer or not. Hey, members of the public, even in Reckless Ben's Part 1 video, he says, I think this guy's a lawyer. The guy, people think he's a lawyer. Now, did he do that on purpose? I don't know. But he sure did tell the cops, I work at a law firm. It's illegal. It's illegal. I work at a law firm. It's illegal. Dude, what are you doing? You trying to make the cop think that you a lawyer? That you know the law? I work at a law firm? Anyway, oh God. My God, he said, you just latch on to every kind of drama you can find. Not this very important consumer protection issue being called drama. I'm sure you'll find a way to put yourself in the middle of this and make it worse. Just go away, please. Okay, do y'all think that Dell, y'all think I should listen to Dell and just go away? Let me know. All 1,753 on the chat must not want me to go away. And then I guess because I didn't give him any attention, he kept talking. I wouldn't be surprised if it's that carnival freak from the documentary. He wanted so bad to become famous off of it, y'all. The carnival freak from the documentary, he was advertising it in the days leading up. Make sure you watch me on the HBO documentary. First of all, it made him look like a lunatic, which he is. He lied about me in the documentary. And his follower count on his YouTube might have went up 10. Total. Womp womp. It flopped. Anyway, I don't know if this is him or not. This is probably somebody different. He says, You insert yourself in everyone else's business. The irony is not lost upon me that this uninitiated novice is in my blessed and highly favored comment section in my business. Why does he know so much about me in my business and telling me to mind my business? He's minding my business enough for both of us. Looks like I could worry about something else for a while. You insert yourself in everyone else's business, he says in my comment section, and try to make it about yourself, he says as he makes this about me. You usually make problems worse than they were to begin with. Yes, I am a troublemaker. Oh, yes, I am. If I see some tyranny, some violation of rights, especially by the government, especially by using or manipulating the government or using the police as your private security team, your private Gestapo, oh, yes, I am a troublemaker. But the way that I make the trouble is using your own postings, your own filings, and your own words and actions against you. You will be the best witness against you on this channel. I'll have to make stuff up, and I never do. Now, sometimes I'll be having a little download, but I'm like, girl, I don't know. That could be a schizophrenic vision. I don't present that as a fact. Somebody said, that person's from corporate. Don't feed the trolls. Oh, no, I'm not feeding the trolls. You'll see. I have some things to say. Oh my God, this is so funny. Darth Tater's mom, I have you streaming throughout the home. I'm in every room. Thank you for the $5 super chat. That's illegal. Never happened. Never happened. Careful why? Why would I be careful? Careful of what? What's this PR bot gonna do to me? Gonna show up and shoot me and kill me on my doorstep or something? Because that's really the only thing I'm about to be afraid of. Afraid of what? Careful of what? Y'all, I'm not like y'all. I ain't scared of my own shadow. I ain't scared of nothing. The day I stopped being afraid to die is the day that I became who I needed to become. I'm not even afraid to die. I'm really not afraid of anything. So, careful of a fucking PR bot? Is it a threat? Fuck around and find out, PR bot. How about? I ain't got to tempt them. Every single one that has come up against me has regretted it. And we're going to watch an example soon. I ain't afraid of nothing and nobody. He said, you always make it about yourself. You usually make problems worse. You don't give I don't know what that's supposed to be, like a male genitalia about what these people are going through. Do I have to? I'm not saying I don't, but let's say I didn't. So what does that have to do with anything? Is what I'm saying false because of that? I'm waiting. Because logically it doesn't even matter. This almost sounds like Dan. Is this Josh? I think it might be Josh. Look how incoherent. They couldn't even spell what. They put a 6. Look at much worse. You made the BAM situation. He's talking about free Bam Margera. You take advantage of an addict for viewers and clickbait, he said. Remember, okay, please put a 2 in the chat if you remember the other day when I told y'all they still have outdated bots that are still running the outdated programs saying that I tried to kill Bam and I ruined his life and I made Bam worse. Put a 2 in the chat if you remember me saying that the other day. There's still outdated bots that are still being run on that program. Like somebody is still paying the bot fee. Because they're still like, you tried to make him worse. You did make him worse. A bunch of 2s. So looks like they're using a phone to respond. Right, with the numbers, right? He put a 6, not a 7. Took advantage of an addict, he said. Took advantage of an addict for viewers and clickbait. You talk about people acting like lawyers, yet you do that in almost every video. No shit, Sherlock. My name is Brittany Jareem Corville, Juris Doctor. I earned that title, buddy boy. I am a lawyer. I act like a lawyer because I am a lawyer. I went to the #4 law school in the whole country. Graduated from it. Passed the bar on my first try. Practiced law at a huge corporate firm, at a huge law firm in corporate law. Worked on billion-dollar deals. I am a lawyer. Now, I'm not practicing law right now. I'm not an attorney, licensed. I gave my license up so I could talk. Because freaks like this, even if this is a bot, someone wrote its program. I'm talking. I'm talking. I'm going to talk. There's nothing anyone is ever going to be able to do to stop me. Never going to be able to shut me up. Nothing you can do about it. Except bitch. Like a bitch. You're so bad, you got called out in a documentary for it. Far as I'm concerned, I'm so powerful. They had to put the full force of network television behind trying to take me down before I ever made it to 1 million subscribers, which is inevitable. As bad as Lima is, at least we agree on that, what you did to her sisters was horrible. Do you know what these sisters did? I never talk about these sisters, by the way, anymore, but one of the sisters accused her mother, who happens to be this Lima girl's mother, who happens to be Bam Margera's conservator / guardian, because it's the same thing. Not anymore, but, years ago, Lima Yevremovich. She had these twin sisters. They shared a mother, obviously. They're sisters. And the mother was called on. They called the cops or whatever. The cops show up. I have the body camera footage. I have videos out about this. The cops show up, and Lima's one of her sisters told the cops, I don't trust cops. Will you get away from me? I've been trying to get my mother taken to jail for 2.5 years, and cops never take her to jail. I've been trying to. Her sisters accused their own mother, her sister, one of the sisters, Dahlia, accused their own mother of trafficking her, of sending men in to repeatedly abuse her over and over again. She described some horrible stuff to the cops. And guess who got taken away in handcuffs that night? It wasn't the mother. The mother was classified as the victim. The cops in Tulsa, Oklahoma didn't even bother to take a witness statement from Dahlia, the victim, who in my opinion, I perceive to be a victim. So I don't even bring up these stories, and here these bots are in my comments. She didn't even know what day it was. She wasn't allowed to have a phone. She wasn't allowed to have a computer. She didn't even know what day it was. She barely knew the president was. Her mom was withholding her medication from her, which I don't think is legal. So, since this guy wants to say, I insert myself into everyone's business, and I make stuff worse, and I made the Bam situation so much worse, I think y'all are all about to start seeing comments like this. Places out here, I think they done renewed the bots. So, I just want to give you, for your consideration, the following. Oh God, not the ad. Hold on. Just for your consideration, because if they're going to be out here slandering me, I think it's only fair. I think it's only fair that I defend myself from time to time. Listen, don't feel special. I ain't going to be addressing every bot, but they did make a whole hit piece documentary about me saying I made Bam so much worse and ruined his life. Let's see what Bam said. Let's see what Bam himself said, shall we? Oh, wait, hold on. I don't know if I turned on the thing. This always happens, though. When I start uncovering stuff, somebody pays to deploy the bots. So I'm just getting out in front of it this time. I'm not doing hit pieces anymore. We're not doing that anymore. I'm done with that.
That surprise witness. I love you. I just saw what you said. And he said that you live right around here in Philadelphia. I want to do an interview with you.
So I saw a video of you, and people characterize it as ranting and raving and whatever. But what you said in this...
When you've been through what I've been through, yes, it is a rant because I have a lot to say. But I don't know anything about this free band movement whatsoever. And because I couldn't have the interweb, this chick knows a lot of information. Jack Tillery said, bam, she lives in Philadelphia. I'm like, what? Get a hold of her then.
I'll
be on my way. It was a ruse to get Lima and Jesse Ray and Brandon Cliff. They came in for an intervention at the shaman's house. He does not want his address one bit to be shared. It was so rude what they did. And my mom was like, Bam, I had nothing to do with it. You had everything to do with it. You fucking made her change the flight because you knew they were coming. What you have is big news because I could have done an interview with you and we could have talked, but you have fucking proof of everything.
Well, does it sound like I ruined Bam Margera's life to you? Let's go check out his Instagram. Let's see how ruined his life is. Because from where I'm sitting, Bam Margera's never been better. Oh, look, there he is right there. Skateboarding. He's got some watches. He's playing outside. I haven't seen any, why don't we check the tabloids? Let's see if it's, oh, Bam Margera crashing out. Bam Margera. Let's just check the news. Let's check the news and see if I ruined Bam Margera's life. I don't see anything. Oh, Bam crashed out. Bam died. You know, when he was in that conservatorship and stuff, he was running away. He was being drugged against his will. He was being trapped in rehabs against his will. That's what he said. That's what he said. And, you know, his little friends and stuff were coming out. Even his own parents were coming out at the time and saying that I was causing them to get, you know, hate and I was ruining Bam's life. Steve-O, the failed clown, even accused me of trying to kill Bam. Let's take a look at that. See how that turned out for him. In my opinion, message is going to regret it. Well. Ask Steve-O how it all turned out.
Yo, Bam, it's Steve-O. And, man, I feel like I owe you an apology, man.
Woo, girl.
I've heard you say at a public level that you feel that I pushed sobriety on you. And, man, it's not supposed to work that way. And gosh dang darn it, you're right. I did. And
this is when I was doing a victory lap. Bam Margera basically said everything that I was saying was right. All of the abuse and harassment that I had withstood from all of his stupid so-called friends. He doesn't even talk to Steve-O anymore at all and has not talked to him since. Steve-O was running PR for that conservatorship. I was being called a fake lawyer, a clout chaser. Why does she care? She only wants Bam's money. Bam has never given me a single dime. In fact, and indeed, when he came to my house to do an interview, I bought him Indian food. And he took my Universal One book. Well, I gave it to him. I let him borrow it, and I never saw it again. And he lost it. But, you know, that's my fault. So, yeah, I mean, that book was like $110, $115, $150 maybe, whatever, $125. It was like over $100. Plus, I bought him Indian food, which he can have. But he didn't buy me nothing. I didn't want Bam Margera's money.
I should know better than that. But in any case, it's cost us our relationship.
Oh, remember that? I know everybody's seen The Wizard of Oz. Remember The Wizard of Oz at the very beginning when the witch is like trying to steal Toto to go put him in a stew or whatever, and Annie M., Dorothy's aunt, is like, now being a Christian woman, I can't say what I really want to say to that witch. I'm feeling a little bit like that. Not the Christian part, but you know, I've spent a lot of time this month really like reflecting on ego and self. I'm talking about this right now because this is my channel. If y'all don't like it, y'all can leave. This is what I'm talking about right now. I'm gonna talk about whatever I want on my channel. So I'll get to that in a moment. But as it stands, and like I have explained, I am a target and repeatedly, routinely am a target. I enter into movements. I start to cause a little bit of a shakeup and then the bots come. So instead of doing little, oh, delete comment, I'm making a public statement about it right now. And I'm showing you an example of the last time this happened. They made an HBO documentary about me that has 3 out of 10 stars, by the way, full of lies. And so, because this is an online movement, I'm giving some context. There's a lot of new people here. If you don't want to hear about it, the internet is wide ass open. Go watch something else. Adults are speaking. And, girl, we can get into that later, but Steve-O picked a good time. Steve-O picked a real good time to basically admit that I was right, because I'm not in the mood to say what I probably would have said about 1 month ago or earlier. I do want to put in this video, I don't know, maybe we'll go through together and look at a few clips.
Had some issues where he fled.
Okay. This is one such example. And you're going to see it's going to happen. It's about to start happening. People are about to start saying, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a real lawyer. I'm trying to hurt people. It won't be the first time, and it probably won't be the last. It usually takes about 1 to 2 weeks, and that's the mark we're at now.
From rehab. Well, he is back in rehab, and I urge everybody, please be supportive of Bam being in rehab, of taking sobriety serious.
I am supportive of Bam being in rehab. I am supportive of Bam taking sobriety seriously. I am supportive of Bam being in recovery, being in active recovery. But I am not supportive of him having to do that while having less constitutional rights than me or Steve-O. Bam should make these decisions on his own. Bam should make the decisions of what medications he is taking on his own. He should make a decision of whether he wants to be in rehab or not on his own. I am supportive of Bam getting treatment, of Bam getting better, of Bam living a happy, strong, healthy life and being a great father to his son. I am not supportive of someone else forcing their version of recovery, their version of treatment, and their version of what they want Bam Margera to be onto him. Okay, so that is what I want to be very clear about. If you take nothing else from this entire reaction video, you need to take that. I am in full support of Bam getting better, Bam recovering, Bam being sober. I think it would be the best thing for him. But it don't matter what I think, Steve-O. And it frankly shouldn't matter what you think. The only person that should matter here is Bam Margera himself and his little baby child. That the best interest of Bam. They had to make an HBO hit piece about me because of this. I wrecked this whole thing. Wrecked it. Completely wrecked it. It was everybody against me and the Free Bam movement. Even long diehard Bam fans. He couldn't speak. I just had to go with he even did come out at some point and say, oh yeah, I think there's like a crazy lawyer lady. He was effed up out of his mind on psychiatric medication. Even still, I kept pushing because I knew I was right. The actual evidence that was shown in court agreed with me. It didn't matter what anyone else said. And so, as there's a lot of new people here, you should be aware, Steve-O had to apologize to Bam. And Bam still don't talk to him. Bam doesn't even do those jackass movies anymore. I wrecked their shit. And they're still pissed about it. I had to deal with lawfare I'm still dealing with it. I'm still waiting to see if the appeal is going to I'm going to win. But I'm still dealing with it. I got a $144,000 legal bill the other day because of this stuff. And this time, I'm doing it different. I'm going to be addressing it. Yes, I am. I'm not letting those Reddit bots get out of control. Nope. It should be first. And it should all happen constitutionally with everyone's rights being respected, including due process and knowing how long you're going to be detained and all of that.
Anybody who's talking about free Bam, let him out, get him out of treatment. Like
another hypothetical clown world that I didn't say. It's straw man. I didn't say free Bam, let him out of treatment. No. I said free Bam, let him make his own decision. Free Bam from this conservatorship. Free Bam from this Florida shuffle. Free Bam from other people making his medical decisions. Okay? So Steve-O's creating a hypothetical clown world that I did not say, accrediting us for things that we did not say. Anybody who says free Bam
is then therefore saying let him out of treatment, is then therefore saying he should be loaded all the time. Like, it's irresponsible, libelous, and defamatory for
Wait
Steve-O
till
to
he
even have
says I
made these
tried to kill
statements and
him.
these allegations. Let's see what he said one more time.
Please be supportive
I am.
of Bam being in rehab.
I am.
Of
Good job,
taking
Bam.
sobriety seriously. Because anybody who's talking about free Bam, let him out, get him out of treatment, like, you're trying to kill my brother, you know.
And this is the most disrespectful and alarming allegation that I have heard.
Accusing me of attempted murder. Accusing me of attempted murder. Trying to kill him.
Now, if something happens to Bam, they're going to say it was the free Bam people who did it because we were encouraging him to get loaded. That's a lie. That's a lie. I've never encouraged Bam to get loaded. Never, not once. And the fact that Steve-O is saying that if something bad happens to Bam, insofar as him losing his life, it's the free Bam movement's fault. But what did Bam tell us in this interview? That Johnny Knoxville and Jeff Tremaine specifically made him want to jump off of the highest building.
Because Johnny Knoxville and Jeff Tremaine had wanted to force Bam to be on this wellness agreement, which was overseen by Jed Wallace, who was the PR guy from the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni. Are these just all a bunch of feds?
Bam said that. He said he didn't even know what was going on with Free Bam on social media. So Steve-O's sitting here and saying that Free Bam, by advocating that the man decides what chemicals go in his own body and what treatment facility he goes to, is killing him. That is alarming, libelous, and defamatory. And not true. Nobody's trying to kill your brother. What we're trying to do actually is make sure that he lives a happy, strong, and healthy life with medical and bodily autonomy.
And don't do that. Let's all please be supportive.
And this failed freaking clown who went to clown college at Barnum and Bailey, but couldn't even get a job at the Barnum and Bailey circus, wants to try to form his disformed and disfigured face to tell me what in the fuck I should do? I still get mad about it. I do.
I'm not doing that. The thing that Steve-O said we were doing is encouraging him to get loaded and run away from treatment and not get treatment. That is not what we are doing. So if anybody out there is doing that, I guess y'all can stop. But I know Steve-O's not talking about me because this is not something that I've ever done.
You're trying to kill my fucking brother.
No, we're not.
And don't do that.
No, we're not.
Let's all please be supportive of Bam's sobriety.
I am very supportive of Bam's sobriety. So we're on the same page on that one, Steve.
Thank you for sticking around to the end. Lots of love.
But I do want to just remind everyone,
Sorry.
myself, how staunchly adamant Steve-O was that it was me that was hurting Bam by advocating that Bam should be allowed to make his own decisions on sobriety. It was Steve-O who said, and I quote from memory, maybe this is a paraphrase, again, I'm going to go try and look for the clip.
You're trying to kill my brother, man. You're trying to kill him.
I was trying to kill him. Steve-O, accused me of attempted homicide. Publicly. Has he retracted that statement? Has he apologized to me for making that statement? No. No. Has he corrected the record that, in fact, I wasn't trying to kill him? No. No, he has not done so. In fact, if I recall correctly, so long ago, I'm pretty sure Steve-O accused me also of somehow providing Bam with an illicit substance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did that. Well, guess what?
No, Bam is not in the new Jackass movie coming out. That is old footage that is licensed from about 6 years ago. And he approved them using it, but he is not talking to those people.
What? The tables have turned. And indeed, my prophetic, that's how you know all the messages are coming straight from the mothership, because how could I have possibly known the future? How could I, little old me, have possibly known the future? But if you listen to my smash hit, Gorianna, Squirrel is Acting Up by Gorianna, you will hear in the chorus of the song that I say, it's a warning. You should have kept my name out your mouth. Why? Why? The underlying implication, why? Ask Steve-O how it all turned out.
And man, it's not supposed to work that way. And gosh dang darn it, you're right. I did. And I should know better than that.
When he tried to use my name for clout.
Trying to kill his brother, he said.
Keep on going. Give him something you can talk about.
So there's that. Yeah, I don't really have anything else further to add, except the bots are out. All right, the bots are out. The websites are getting deleted. The websites are going down. Okay, so moving on. Next topic. Oh, also this. So the person like accused me, right, of like inserting myself into everything. And I know this channel right here only has 14,000 subscribers, but my other channels have, you know, like one of them has 300 something, one of them has 190 something, you know. So I've been at this a while. Here's the other one of the other major, you know, projects I kind of did online. This is the other one, Britney Spears, framing Britney Spears. Look at this, email from 2021, it's 5 years ago, from a director producer from the New York Times Presents. Hey BJ, so much happening, right? Just want you to know I've been reading and watching all your videos and threads, and I'm so impressed with the digging you are doing. We at the New York Times are launching a not public investigation into Lou Taylor and all the lawyers and other people involved in Britney's conservatorship. You're giving us so many leads to follow up on. I'm not sure if it would hurt the reporting to respond to the large number of people tagging me in your posts, so I haven't been. But I wanted to let you know I am seeing your work, and it is so valuable. Oh, so the director and producer at the New York Times said my work was valuable. So now, did they give me any credit at all whatsoever in the documentary? I mean, in the piece they put out? No, why would they? They only want to give credit in the back end. They want to give credit in the back end. They don't want to help, you know, anybody's credibility, anything like that whenever we're getting attacked by the bot armies. But they sure will email us. They sure will email us. Anyway. That was that. Okay, so now I want to move to the next topic on the agenda. First of all, I want to show y'all this. This is crazy. Somebody made this thing. I don't even know what this alien technology even is, but I've entered into this part of the internet. What in the hell? A node inspector, and it's got this legend, and these lines mean stuff. Like if you click on something, oh my God, who? Anyway, I'm going to be clicking around on this later a lot more. So much stuff. There, somebody sent that to me. I did not make that. I thought that was so cool. What is that thing? Node inspector. And then there's like stuff over here. National Guard. What's attached over here? David. Jesse. I thought that was so cool. So I'm gonna have to click around on that a little bit more as time goes by, because I don't really know what I'm doing with it, but I thought it was interesting. I wanted to share that with y'all. It's very impressive. Okay, so there's a detail that we touched on yesterday, and I think it was like kind of like at the end of the stream. And I personally am trying to really zoom in and get a granular perspective on a granular perspective and understanding of who actually owned that Salem store and when. Who actually owned the Kaiser Salem bricks and minifigs and when. Okay, so we have a rough idea that Crystal Law, she and her husband or her partner Ben Gorman, they owned it for a little, I think a bit over a year, from maybe like February 2020, so maybe almost 2 years, February 2023 through November 2024. We know in November 2024 she was evicted, and Brandon Best the very next day started a company with the same address as the Salem Kaiser store. And we do know that at some time after that, Reckless Ben got involved in the story. Now, Joshua Johnson would then claim to be a co-owner of the store. But when Ben tried to sue Joshua Johnson as a co-owner of the store, he sued the wrong LLC. When the cops came to Joshua Johnson's house and asked him, have you ever been sued? Have you ever been in litigation with this guy? He said no. Now, there are two very important, what I think are lies, that I want to talk about in that little realm. Let me bring up the web. Is it not? Oh, it unclosed it. Hold on. Okay. So this is what we're talking about, right? This part of the web. This is Brandon Best right here. I swear I got to put his picture up. That's Joshua. This is under the auspices of working for Bricks and Minifigs. Now, remember, in the RICO case itself, in the lawsuit that's filed against Reckless Ben, this guy right here is described as a representative of corporate. He was a inventory specialist or whatever they said. Yeah, actually, we're going to watch a little bit of this today, Thumb. So this is the specific store we're talking about here. This isn't the store, right? See, this is like what is it? Like a rehabilitation, like a physical therapy place. But look at the sign right there, Bricks and Minifigs. And so this is just from Google Maps. Bricks and Minifigs actually is not pictured. The building it's in is not pictured here, but it's in Salem, Oregon. The owner of the building, I looked it up, NGEP Investments, which doesn't in any way appear to be connected to these people. I was expecting it to be, but it wasn't. Okay, so this is the store, right? This we'll call this one the store, the Kaiser store, and the company that ended up taking over it was Joshua Johnson's, right? He was supposed to sue, right? They were like, Ben was supposed to sue Salem, Salem Baker Bricks or whatever, and he sued the wrong thing or whatever. So I want to point this out here because somebody did put together a little sheet, like a timeline type of thing. I was like, oh my God, it kind of cracked a little bit of this case open for me. So let me pull it up now. Oh no, that's not it. Sorry, hold on. God dang it. I had redacted it and everything. Oh, hold on. Sorry. It is so hard to keep up with all these files. Date. Let's see a date. Okay, musical LLCs. I think that's what I called it. All right. So here's the email. I didn't know if the person wanted credit or not, so I just redacted their name and their email address too. Hey, I did some digging as well, and I was curious on what the entity name was after Ben sued the wrong LLC. Aren't we all? In the small claim suit. I don't know if this is redundant for you. You might have mentioned this stuff on one of your shows. This is so hard. Yeah, exactly. Thought I'd send in case. Below is a timeline and entity map based on publicly available findings and reference records. I've tried to separate verified SOS filings from reported secondary information where applicable. Okay, so number one was like pre-2024. This was L2 Bricks. This is referenced in connection with earlier Salem franchise operations. Now, I haven't looked into that L2 Bricks LLC, but we can. Then there comes the Crystal Law / Ben Gorman era. And this is the address 3670 River Road North, Kaiser, Oregon. Okay, so she gets repossessed or evicted or whatever on November 14th, 2024. Not repossessed. The business gets repossessed. She gets kicked out. She gets basically like ordered to leave the Salem store. The very next day, Brandon Thomas Best starts Salem Baker Bricks. And so, for lawsuit purposes, if Ben wanted to sue one of the companies that owned the store, it would seem that would be the one to sue. That would be the one to sue. Now, apparently, there may be other companies. There's also this Eugene store, the Eugene Baker Bricks. That's a different one. That's 780 Blair Boulevard. But then that company, I think, has dissolved. I don't know if it has dissolved or not, but now there's another business using that same address that actually is owned by BAM Franchising Inc. and also Matthew McNeff. But this is the Eugene, Oregon store. Remember, there were two of them. So it would appear that Salem Baker Bricks is who should have been served with the lawsuit. Now, I think maybe Ben sued Baker Bricks and not Salem Baker Bricks. Excuse me, I think he sued L2 Bricks. So let's just go to the Oregon Secretary of State, and I want to see the filing history for Salem Baker Bricks. Again, why? Because I think if Ben, right, we all heard the story by now, Ben sued the wrong company, and Josh was couldn't have been happier about it. Couldn't have been happier about it. I mean, he was smiling so big. I'm shocked you still couldn't see his teeth somehow, because I think it was the biggest he could smile. But he was smiling so big whenever the officer refused to just serve him with those papers. And he thought that his little LLC cup and ball game had won. He thought that it had been successful. Now, another, I think, lie, it's my opinion, that Josh told. Oh, no, it wasn't a lie yet. It wasn't a lie yet. There was a lie, but not there. Okay. We'll get to that. We're on the first lie. We're on lie 1 right now. So Ben sues the wrong company. Okay, womp. And that is actually a big deal. You can't sue the wrong company. Like, you have to sue the right company. You have to sue the person you mean to sue. And a corporation, as y'all all know, is a person under the law, like a legal person. So, fine. Who should he have sued? Should it have been Salem Baker Bricks? Well, one would think, because that's the company that was opened at the exact address of the store the very next day. Now, yeah, Brandon Best is the only one whose name is on it at first. Salem Baker Bricks. Let's just check out the history of that company in the Oregon Secretary of State. Salem Baker Bricks. Brandon. Principal place of business is still listed as that same store. Administrative dissolution. Okay, so it dissolved. Okay, so it's over. So why would Ben have known to sue this store? Why would Ben have known to sue Salem Baker Bricks? When did he file his lawsuit? It's not a lie when it's paperwork. Let me go to bamsucks.com. He has those lawsuits. Or she. I just assume it's a he. I really don't know, though. Could be a she. Could be a they. Could be a bunch of people. Browse by topic. Okay. And just to be very clear, I don't know who it is. What is this? This is a website. Bricks Minifigs sucks. Bamsucks.com. Franchise. Where are the small claims? Yes. Ben versus L2 Bricks. Okay, so that's who he sued. When was that filed? Okay, this is where it got dismissed. Wow, look at that timing. Okay, hold on. Let me just process this. Are these in order? January 8th. Okay, this is the dismissal. Notice of small claim. When was this filed? October 8th, 2025. October 8th, 2025. Okay. And then it got dismissed in January. So let me write that on my timeline. Sorry, sometimes there's little pauses. You'll have to wait a little bit for me because it's like live investigations. I don't know what else to do. Okay. Because I like to have the timeline sorted out. I did see, excuse me, I did see, what's his name? Eagle Dog. Shout out to him. I did see Eagle Dog's, video, and I gotta admit, I'm not, numbers are not, y'all know how it is with me and numbers. I'm a lifelong learner. Maybe I'll get good at it one day. I did feel a little bit lightheaded by the end of it. I'm not gonna lie. He also got a couple things not exactly right. Like, he said that I found that there was all these connections between Jay Mitten and Daniel J. McNeff. I mean, there's some tangential connections. What I'm actually working on is trying to find real connections. There's like hints of connections and sprinkles, but it's all kind of circumstantial. He also said that I somehow found out that Jay McNeff has a huge family and 8 brothers and sisters. I did not find that out. I did not know that until I watched his video last night. Or yesterday after I got off stream, and it was a cool video. I mean, definitely seems to be educated, smart, like is probably my cousin. Like, he definitely has the same type of like drilling into an issue until the issue's been drilled into or whatever. But I just wanted to say, I didn't say anything about Jay McNeff's family. I didn't say his wife's name. I didn't say nothing about who his brothers, sisters are. The only thing I talked about was the public filings that he put out having to do with his business and his sons he did go into business with. So, in that way, yeah, I discussed his family, but I don't know how many brothers and sisters, Jay or Ammon. I don't know how many brothers and sisters they have either. I know that they have each other, and maybe they have a sister. I don't really know though. And he also said he like really, I feel kind of bad because he like really heavily advertised, my Reddit, and he was like sending people over there, and he was like, go over there. And it's like, no, don't go over there because y'all can't comment nothing over there. I don't have communities. I have been falsely accused in the past of things like being the leader of an army and being a cult leader. I don't have communities. I don't have a Reddit. I don't have a Discord that people can go and talk on. It does suck. Absolutely. I totally understand it sucks. I would like to be able to have, a little, with y'all. I can't. I'm too targeted. They mess with me too much. They want to call me a cult leader. They want to call me they want to call me a leader of an army. They want to say that people from my Discord went over there to their house when I didn't even have a freaking Discord. They've been blaming me for stuff that happened in a Discord that I didn't even create. So imagine if I create one. So I am just so sorry. I'm not going to be able to open the Reddit up for y'all to comment on. I do apologize for any misunderstandings that may have arisen from that. It is a self-protection mechanism. I just can't, and it's not my fault. But if y'all do really want to tell me something, my email address is posted below. I have 2 of them down there you could email, and please don't send me anything private. Please don't send me anything that's not already public. If you send me something that is public, even if you could send me the link to how I could find it for the same reasons. I don't want to break any stories. I don't want any exclusives. Go say it on your channel and I'll react. It's not it. This time. I got $1 million of legal bills to attend to at this point. Like, it can't be me. That's very interesting. Airbnb owner is not allowed to audio record conversations if he is not a party to them in Utah. Yeah, is that eavesdropping? I would sue that freak. I don't even want to rent Airbnb ever again. I mean, I guess hotels could be doing that too. But like, imagine you get swatted because you stayed at an Airbnb and you're trying to work on your little stolen Legos project, and the Airbnb owner somehow is surreptitiously eavesdropping on you. And oh, if anybody knows the address to that house, I could figure out who the owner is, which is a public record. A cop admitted they were friends with him. I mean, is that a crime? He should be arrested for that. I would sue him if I had money and I was Ben. That's traumatizing. Like, imagine like cops with semi-automatic weapons, bulletproof vests, show up in like a residence. Like, you're not at a McDonald's, you're not at Taco Bell, you're not at the Panera Bread. You're in the Airbnb where you have obviously an expectation of privacy. Because they were talking about stolen Legos. No shit. The American Fork Police Department already knew about the stolen Legos. It's crazy. And that's really where I got involved in this case. That's where I got involved in this case. When I saw what those cops did that day. We watch all these horrible, movies and stuff. We see stuff on TV. I think it's totally desensitized us, but it's a whole nother animal whenever you're sitting in an Airbnb you rented thinking it's kind of like, private. It's your little house you rented for the weekend or the week or whatever. And then boom, 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 automatic weapons. That's crazy. Anyway, let me put these things into my timeline here. Ben filed his lawsuit for small claims court October 2025. Oh, very interesting. Oh my gosh. Hold on. This is why I do timelines. October. Let me see what it's actually dated in the signature. October 8th. Oh, wow. These people are crazy. Oh my God. Ben sues Josh Johnson. No, not Josh Johnson. Ben sues L2. Oh, this is crazy. L2 Bricks, LLC, in Oregon. Was it Oregon? Marion County. Okay, that's the small claim. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so like a week later, so Ben sues the so-called wrong entity, right? Can we all agree it was the wrong entity just for the purposes? I'll be calling it the wrong entity. I haven't done the research into it. That's what we're doing right now. But I'm just going to say the wrong entity because that's the thing they've been saying. And I think, it's maybe even been admitted. I don't know if it is or isn't yet. We're going to research. So Ben sues the so-called wrong entity October 8th. That's the day he sues them. I don't know when Josh got served, if anybody got served. I really don't know. But about a week later, October 15th, this is last year, regular old Baker Bricks LLC voluntarily dissolves or the dissolution date. So he sues L2 Bricks with Josh. That's the wrong company. He put fictitious entities. Okay, so so that happens on the 8th. On the 15th, same month, the actual one he probably should have been suing, they just told on themselves. Now I know who owned it. It was Baker Bricks. Baker Bricks LLC must own the underneath LLCs. That's my current working theory. What did Dan start posting on Facebook? No, I don't like left aligning. I like it being center. It's not a document though. It's on my web. It's like this. Okay, so then what happened next? Okay, so I'm on the BAM. Oh. This thing will just send me off into the weeds. Hold on. We're in October. Okay, so he sues October 10th. It ends up getting dismissed January 8th, 2026, like so the next year. Wow. Are y'all seeing this? Let's see if I can only left align these two. That might actually help something. See, it becomes like hard to like tell apart. Okay. I'm trying to do something with this box. Okay, there we go. Okay. So January 6th, Salem Baker Bricks also dissolves. And then 2 days later, the case is dismissed. So there's really only two options from what I could see of who Ben Schneider should have sued if he wasn't supposed to sue L2. From what I can see, the two options of who to sue should have been, and this is just from what I can see. I don't know everything. This is just, I've been researching this for a week, okay? But there's this. There's this entity, Baker Bricks, that's based in Cottonwood Heights, Utah. There's other Baker Bricks, right? Wesley Chapel Baker Bricks, Eugene Baker Bricks, Salem Baker Bricks, or whatever it was. Okay, so the only two, okay, so if we're suing for something that's supposedly right, so let's zoom out. What's going on here? Brian Mansell, he said somebody stole his Legos. I can see the Legos in the store. He said, I can see him through the window. Who owns this store? Who owns this store? Not who owns the building, because I figured that out too. That person has nothing to do with it. They done rented their building out to somebody. Who? Who owns, who, where does the buck stop? That's what this whole case is about. Where does the buck stop? Who is responsible in this particular case? So Ben said, I'm going to go straight to the store owner now. Well, when he did that, or Brian first, right? So Brian loses his Legos. Crystal Law gets evicted. Now there's all these Legos in here. I will concede that many of them were probably sold. I will concede that some of them, because I watched the CoffeeZilla video, were off-site in a storage unit. I will concede that possibly some of them were at Crystal Law's house, because I believe she said that. She had taken some to her home. However, there's still some Legos in the store, right? So we're still working with some Legos in the store. Maybe some are offsite. Maybe some are at Crystal's. Maybe some sold. Maybe some are in the back on layaway, but they're in that store, right? The vast majority of the ones in the back on layaway. I don't know. But Brian Mansell, you gotta rewind. Where did all this come from? He gave a bunch of Legos over to these people, and he had not been paid out on most of them, or a lot of them, we'll say. So Crystal gets evicted, hostile takeover, escorted out of the building, can't come back. We'll call the cops. We don't know what happened to the parrot. We have AMN in them saying, at some point eventually that it doesn't matter how much. It doesn't matter how much of the Legos or how much it's, it wasn't worth $200,000. That's grossly overestimated. Bitch, I don't care if it was worth $6. You could get a meal at McDonald's for that and keep going to the next day. You mean to tell me just because you're so rich and the $200,000 don't matter to you, or $60,000 or $1,000 or $500? Like, most people in the world are never going to have $100,000. They're admitting that maybe it was worth up to $100,000. Most people in the world are never going to have $100,000 at one time in their bank account. Like, most people are never going to do that. So I think Ammon and his weird brother and his, people over there, they just got so desensitized to just being around all this money all the time that they think that it's just okay as long as it's like, it's not 200,000. So fucking what? What if it was $1,000? $1,000.00. That means y'all can just take it? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm coming at this from the perspective of somebody where, I mean, just $500 would have changed my life at some points. So, what? Anyway, so we're dealing with Ben, right? Like, who do we sue? So, Brian Mansell goes to the store. Eventually, they trespass him from the property. He can't come back. He calls the cops in Salem. He says, look, they stole my stuff. They stole my stuff. I want criminal charges. Can you go arrest somebody? The cops do an investigation. They say, who owns this store? Brandon's name gets mentioned. So they're talking to Brandon. They're talking to Brandon. And then the cops tell Brandon best, if we find out y'all are lying or any criminal activity has taken place during all of this, somebody could get arrested for theft. So then Josh Johnson, who nobody yanked his chain, nobody was coming for him, nobody sent for him, he ends up calling the police department and saying, why'd that lady cop ask and say something about they're going to arrest us if we did a crime? I'm the co-owner. Nobody yanked his chain, but now he's entered the chat. So it's like, okay, I guess they're co-owners, Brandon and Josh. Do they own the store? What company owns the store? Well, there was one that was open right after. The day after they evicted Crystal, maybe it's that company, right? Well, from where I see it, that's the two possible companies they could sue. Either Salem Baker Bricks or Baker Bricks LLC. But if you take a look at the timeline that we just put together or added to, when Ben did sue the so-called wrong entity in October, they dissolved. A week later, they dissolved one of those two possible companies he could have sued. It got dissolved. Then the case, because he had sued the wrong entity, got dismissed. Guess what? 2 days later, 2 days before, excuse me, they had dissolved the other company too. So of the two companies that it looks like could have actually been sued, they weren't, legally, I mean, I pulled up I don't want to say the wrong thing. I actually pulled up the statute because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Oh, I have it under Utah. Hold on. I need Oregon. Well, let's just go to the thing here because I do want to look up Baker Bricks too. Not Baker Bricks, L2 Bricks. Because, who owned that one? What's going on with L2 Bricks? That's who Ben sued. So, I mean, I'm sure Ben had some reason for suing this company. Let me take a look. Inactive. Okay, this must have been the prior owner, Matthew Bowman. Matthew and Sarah Bauman. So they started in 2016, dissolved in 2020. So this really was the wrong people to sue. This was not the right thing to sue. Let's go to Baker Bricks. I think Baker Bricks is a Utah corporation. Active. Okay. This is what I wanted to show y'all. Now they have added Josh onto here, but it was started in 2024 and they wanted to do a reinstatement on the day that they filed the RICO suit. Okay. So Baker Bricks, where is the dissolution? Why did it say that it was dissolved? Hold on. Where's my Salem Baker Bricks dissolution? Hold on. Ben sues L2 Bricks. Was it also in Oregon? Salem Baker Bricks, L2 Bricks, Marion County, Oregon, Dissolution Baker Bricks. So I have October 15th as a dissolution date for Baker Bricks, but I'm not seeing that actually on the website for the Utah. So I don't know if I'm wrong or hold on. Let me go to the Oregon. Maybe did they have a Baker Bricks just called Baker Bricks without being called Salem? Oregon. Oh, I already have that. Hold on. Here, yeah, let's go here. No, they don't have that. Was Salem Baker Bricks called something else before? No. So I don't know why I have that October 15th date. What happened on October 15th? Okay, so I'm going to put a strike through that on my web because that hasn't checked out to be true. I don't know why I have that there. Hold on. Sorry, this is just part of, live investigations. All right. I don't know why I have that there. Okay, so still, I mean, that was just something that I saw by happenstance anyway. Okay, so now it has been dissolved on the 15th, administrative dissolution. This is Salem Baker Bricks. I think I got that wrong too. Okay, hold on. 16th, not 6th. Wow, so it's even worse. They closed this shit down after they knew they could have been on the hook for a lawsuit. The weird thing is there's no filing for it, and it does say SYS, so maybe it was just like automatically they closed it down, but the timing is impeccable because the small claims case that was filed against against L2 Bricks, which I agree was filed against the wrong company. I mean, it was like Matthew Bowman. It wasn't even nothing to do with these people. Salem Baker Bricks closed down on the 15th, 16th, 15th. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is interesting. This is interesting. Numbers tell stories. I like that. Look at this. Update amendment. The October 15th, I put a strike through on that one. I need to reacquaint myself with why I thought that the dissolution date for Baker Bricks LLC was on this date. But January 8th, Ben's small claims case gets dismissed as against L2 Bricks, which was the wrong person or the wrong entity to sue. Amendment. January 16th, about a week later, Salem Baker Bricks, which is probably the right company that he was supposed to sue, dissolves. Knowing that they could be on the hook for a lawsuit, the company gets dissolved or is allowed to lapse. Oh, freak. I wasn't even showing y'all this. Look. January 8th, small claims, dismissed. Why? Wrong entity. About a week later, eight days later, Salem Baker Bricks, which is probably the right entity to sue, or perhaps Baker Bricks, its parent, that dissolved. A week after the lawsuit was dismissed against L2 Bricks. It almost looks like they did that so that maybe the lawsuit couldn't get served or what. But see, this is the problem. Let me show y'all. Hold on, let me okay. Now, what is it? Is it an ink? Is it an LLC? Salem Baker Brick, I think, is an LLC. Inc. Oh, boy. Oh, man, the plot thickens. These companies that Josh and Brandon Best have seem to be incorporated corporations. Okay, the principal place of business, the Oregon store. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so what is a certificate of good standing in Oregon? In Oregon, a certificate of good standing, commonly called a certificate of existence, is issued by the Oregon Secretary of State Corporation Division. It verifies that a business entity is currently active, it has met its its required filings, and is in compliance with state regulations. The document serves as a formal confirmation of a business's status. Standard certificate of good standing. Okay, so why do you need one? There's several scenarios. Mergers and acquisitions, when parties may request confirmation that a business is active. Licensing permits, some applications require proof of good standing. Financing, foreign qualification, insurance requirement. Hold on. No, that's not the right freaking thing. Okay, hold on. Look at this. Look at this. This is LLC. I need an Inc. Why do corporations? This. Maintaining active status is required for several critical reasons. Preserving limited liability. Okay, so remember, these people worked for Legally Mine, at least Josh did. Their whole thing is like, oh, we're going to give you the right LLC and the right INC and the right LL family FLP, PPLTT, LMNOP. We're going to give you the right stuff to make sure you don't get sued, and you can, if you do, you hide the gold and all of that, right? One of the reasons you're supposed to stay active with your freaking business is in case you get sued during the time you don't have it active. Preserve the existence of your entity at all, and for limited liability protections, also to protect your corporate name, maintaining licenses and permits. So, I'm assuming this company that they started in 2024 wasn't, still in good standing, or was due to be updated. Application for reinstatement, they call it. Let me see if I have that document. What is this one called? Baker Bricks LLC. Wow. When is this from? 20. They've been updating stuff even on the 9th. Okay, I guess I don't. Let's see. Let me just bring this one up. Baker Bricks LLC. This one is an LLC. Jesus. Okay. Anyway, long story short, like the main point I'm trying to say here on this one. From where I'm sitting, there's possibly two different companies, two different organizations, entities, if you will, that Ben could sue for this little small claims thing in Oregon. First of all, this Baker Bricks LLC is a Utah corporation. So Baker Bricks LLC, I don't know if they are able to just engage in business in Utah without registering as a foreign entity. I would think they're not. So if that's true, then there's only one company left to sue. That's Salem Baker Bricks. Y'all just saw me look and see if there is a regular no qualifier before Baker. No, there's no Baker Bricks in Utah. There's a Salem Baker Bricks. There's a Eugene Baker Bricks. So if they're trying to say that Ben should have instead sued the Utah company for what happened in Oregon, then they're admitting that they weren't licensed or registered to practice business in Oregon, which I'm not sure is okay or legal. Maybe Oregon, consumer protection or something could look into it. So that really leaves us with only one more company left that could possibly get sued if for something that happened, for the toys that are missing or the Legos that are missing from Brian's collection that he can see in the windows, he can see them in the doors, he can see them through the windows. The only company there that qualifies for would be Salem Baker Bricks. It couldn't be the company Crystal owns because she's not in the store anymore. Now, I will say, they're going to say he should have sued Crystal and her entity. So, that is what they are going to say. But this company right here that they actually sued Ben, Baker Bricks in Utah sued Ben. Why? I have no idea. But they did. And they sued him on the same exact day that they reinstated the company in the state of Utah. So, still, who should Ben have sued? That's the question I'm wondering. Did Josh ever say it in the body camera footage? Did he ever say, oh, he sued this company, he should have sued this company? Do they say it in the RICO? It's pretty crazy how all this stuff started getting filed on the 21st. We found a whole new company yesterday. Shout out to Alex. I don't know if she's in here today. Thanks so much to Brisket and Ribs for the $5 super chat. Do you have any hope these clowns will face prosecution for this suspiciously racket-shaped operation? No. Well, maybe. Hope? I don't know. Not really, but it's possible. Thank you for the $5 super chat. You should search for baby Sinclair dinosaurs and tell me it doesn't look like Mr. Johnson. Oh my God. I know who you're talking about. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much to Trail Tail Treats for the $39.99. Thank you so much to Alice Quinn in Swoop's honor. It's not drama, it's dangerous. Thank you. Thank you for the $2. Thank you for the $2. Scruffy. Nah, keep doing what you're doing. Do your own thing. I do. And I will. Thank you. Thank you to Crystalia for the $10. Dan's Facebook had a guy from BYU and Utah arguing with him on Facebook. How was he posting on there unless he had access? Sounds like a PR stunt to blame the Suns to gain sympathy for Dan. Dan became active 12/25. Okay, interesting. Thank you for that information. Also, he apparently posted something yesterday and that got deleted too. Thanks so much to Nerdy Dog Mom for the $1.99. Google reviews show how scammy this is. I'll have to check those out. Thank you, Scott, becoming a new member. Scott Griffith. Thank you to Acid Guba for becoming a new member. Thank you, Lion Dust, for the €6. There's a vid on Ben's Reddit where Dan says he worked for Mitten and bought his company later. Oh, I would love to see that video. I've been looking for that. Like a statement of that sort. Thank you for that €6. Thank you to Erwin D90 for the 10. Yeah, true, for the €10. Speaking of Eagle Dog, how on earth is Bricks and Minifigs going to pay for the lawsuit? Denton? That's a big firm, y'all. That's a powerhouse. They don't have the money for that. If that financial audit was anything close to the truth, they don't have the money for it. Thanks so much to Mr. Texan in North Carolina, becoming a new member. Thank you for the $1.99 Shmuel Buckman. Utah 76. Okay, hold on. Let me look it up. Utah 76, section... Class 2 misdemeanor. Section 12, part 3. Unlawful privacy violation. For purposes of this section, expectation of privacy means a property owner's expectation of privacy. An actor commits unlawful privacy violation if the actor trespasses with intent to subject anyone to eavesdropping, installs or uses after unauthorized installation in a private place without the consent of the person or persons entitled to privacy in the private place, a device for observing, photographing, hearing, recording, amplifying, or broadcasting sounds or events in the private place, installs or uses outside of a private place, so that wouldn't count here, uses ground penetrating technology, a violation, a Class B misdemeanor, Class B misdemeanor. A court may order an actor who commits this violation to remove or destroy the data. An actor is not guilty if the device is used in an unmanned aircraft. The actor is operating the unmanned aircraft for legitimate commercial or educational purposes. Any conduct described in subsection 2. A property owner has an expectation of privacy regarding characteristics, data, or information pertaining to his property. Section does not apply to law enforcement. That's what they'll say. This section does not apply to lawful practices of law enforcement. But was it lawful? Had they gotten a search warrant or had they subpoenaed or gotten a search warrant for to even ask for that footage? They're going to say that it was a lawful investigation. They were investigating. Okay. Unlawful interception or disclosure of a private communication. An actor commits unlawful interception or disclosure of a private communication if, except as authorized by law, right? See, except as authorized by law. Law enforcement's going to say they were authorized to do it, but I would say they were not unless they had a search warrant. And it has to be, the thing is, I don't think they did, because a search warrant has to be based on probable cause. And the probable cause, it has to be like articulated. It can't be from some random anonymous source. It has to be articulable and reasonably specific. And so I heard them talking about stolen Legos is absolute. I mean, everybody in this chat could have the cops barge in with guns. We all talking about stolen Legos. That's not lawful for the cops to say, oh, they were talking about stolen Legos. Give us all the, no, that's unreasonable search and seizure of the video. Intercepts without the consent of the sender or receiver a message or other means of communication, divulges without consent the existence or contents of a message. This could be, I mean, if I'm Ben, I'm suing them all for this. If I'm Ben, I'm suing them all for this. Thank you for the $1.99. Thank you to Eric Ling for the $4.99 super chat. Did you see Dan McNeff's presentation video on how to avoid lawsuits? Yes, I did, and we're going to watch it today. Or some of it, not all of it. But yes, I did. Thank you for the $4.99. Does the U-Haul have GPS data, or is that illegal? Could be interesting to find out where the U-Haul was traveling. I have no idea. That would be interesting. But I bet you Brandon or whoever was in that U-Haul's phone has the GPS data, which will be subpoenaable since they decided to sue. Thank you to Scott Hale for the $5 super chat. There are 2 addresses to Salem because of an addition and hid the LLC there, not in the web address. Oh. Yeah, it's 6670 and 6770, 6670 and 6660. Those are the 2 door sticker numbers that are on the front of the building, and both of them seemed to be over the bigger bricks. So, excuse me, over the bricks of Minifigs. So it would be 6660 and 6760 River Road North, Kaiser, Oregon. But I think you can't search by address. I think that was my other problem that I was having in the corporations division. But if y'all know about the hidden LLC, let me know. If you looked in the application for reinstatement, it does say the dissolution date. Oh, perfect. I figured I had seen it somewhere. I mean, I usually don't just like phantom write things out. Let me see. Let's go to the application for reinstatement. Yes. Dissolution date. Yep. Dissolution date. October 21st, 2025. So what did I have? October 15th. So what is this? This is Baker Bricks LLC in Utah. I still got it wrong. I put 15th. It was the 21st. Effective date, the date of the RICO filing, the date they filed the lawsuit. They are so stupid. I guess they thought that they would get away with this, but like, even if I wasn't doing anything on this case, like Ben would have found this. This is his like thing. Finding legal loopholes and stuff. Like, he's on to these people. Thank you, Auburn Thaw, for the $5 super chat and for letting me know. Thank you to Salt in Exile for the $2 super chat. Oh, okay. Let me write that down. Hold on. I got the Airbnb address. I'm going to look up who owns it. $891. North 150 West. What's the city? American Fork. This the house? This the Airbnb? Which one? I'm not necessarily recognizing that. Eight 91 North 150 West, American Fork, Utah. I got the pictures off of here now. It used to have pictures. Oh, that's Cedar City. Okay, homes.com. Somebody tweeted about it. In case anybody wants to know which Airbnb to avoid. Okay, let's see. Is this it? And this is where they were holding them back here? Sputuk Gmail is funny. Okay, let's see. Which county is American Fork? Utah County, Registry of Deeds. Visit land records site. Address search. 891. Direction is going to be north. Here, show you what I'm doing. This is public record search. What's the street? 150? 150W? I don't know if that's going to work. Let's see. All records. Oh, yeah, it worked. Okay. Ryan McKean Wells and others. Oh, it's a revocable trust. You can go to the documents. Solar Mosaic. What is this? First American title. Recorded 2020. Where's the deed? Oh, this is probably it right here. Let's see. Oh, it's got my pop-up blocked. All right, let's see. Ryan McKean Wells as trustee of the Ryan McKean Wells Revocable Trust. And Wendy Rachel Wells as trustee of the WRW Revocable Trust. Okay, they got trust. Are they legally mine clients? Let me look up Ryan McKean Wells. This is public, by the way. This is all public. Y'all saw I didn't even pay money for that. Ryan McKean Wells, Utah. Age 45. 2 weeks ago on-site group. Oh, I guess this is him. Okay, there you have it. That's why, I mean, they put all this shit public. Why are they putting stuff public? This is public. Just a few days ago, May 29th, huge congratulations to Ryan on passing his probation and being promoted to IT Business Systems Manager. Since joining the group, on-site group, Ryan has already... Oh, this is Ryan McKean, not my Ryan McKean Wells. Excuse me, nobody send hate to this man. I need Wells. Ryan, let's do Ryan M. Wells, Utah. Multi-founder investor. Let me go American Fork. Okay, let's see if he owns any companies. How do you spell it? Ryan. McKean. Ryan McKean Wells. Revocable trust. Ryan M. Wells. Let's go to Utah. Nothing in Utah. Oh, 6 in Utah. IPF Properties. Corbin Construction. Whoa. Didn't somebody say something about Corbin? Earlier? Based on what the cop said, he will be military or something. Police or something affiliated. Wait, what did he say, Naga? His middle name is a last name. Looks like it. They deleted the Airbnb listing. You can FOIA the American Fork Police Department for the time and transcript of when Ryan Wells, whom I'm sure isn't lying, called to report Ben and his friends speaking about Legos. Do not send hate to anyone mentioned, even if they deserve it. Yes, do not send hate to anybody mentioned here. If you do, I will testify against you. Do not send hate. You think he's a broker? Let me look at broker check. This is a real live investigation. I never even heard this man's name. No, nothing shows up for that. Ryan Christopher Wells, Ryan Patrick, Brian Wells, Matthew Ryan Wells. No McKean in the broker check. Womp womp. Let's check out Corbin Construction. Let me try Brian McKean Wells. Nothing shows up for that. Ryan Wells. Oh, shoot. They think I'm a robot. All right, let's narrow. Okay, this is all Utah. 57 companies in Utah with a Ryan Wells or a Ryan M. Wells. IPF Properties, Corbin Construction, Ryan Parker Wells. Okay, these onboard assembly and my sweat life are not him. This is Ryan Parker Wells. So there are a few Ryan Welleses. Prominence Media. That's interesting. That's old company. Ryan McKean Wells is the owner of the house, the Airbnb. Supposedly he is friends with one of the officers and they are shooting buddies. Check the National Guard. Okay. Ryan McKean Wells, National Guard. Not seeing anything. Ryan McKean, but not Wells. The last name is Wells. It's not McKean. There is a Ryan Wells, military professional Marines, Semper Fi. Got out in 2014. That's Connecticut. I don't think that's him. Ryan Wells, Utah. Should I search the criminal records? Let's search that. Utah criminal case search. See if he's been in any trouble. Yeah, it's a lot of Ryan Wells. One born in 77, one born in 76, one born in 78, one born in 86, one born in 1980. So without more, I wouldn't know which one he is, although there is one in American Fork where he was a defendant in 2011, one in American Fork where he was a defendant in 2012, some other stuff from 2019, 2022. What is this? I don't know. I mean, without knowing, somebody said that he had a LinkedIn. Let's see. This is the guy who provided the surveillance information to the police. Ryan Wells, American Fork, Utah. Well, this does look like it might be him. I mean, how many Ryan Wells do you think there are in American Fork, Utah? Is that a big city? See, that's the thing. They have two Ryan Wells in here in American Fork. There's one that is an information security engineer, but then there's one that's a principal at a middle school. So I don't know which Ryan McKean Wells this is. This is the one that's married to, or I don't know, married. I'm assuming married to Wendy Rachel Wells. Let's see if we have more luck finding her. Maybe she's the one. Handed over the tapes. Who knows? Age 46. So if you're 46, like about what year would you have been born? 1980. Is she a deputy recorder? Okay, so are these people are involved in government then? Wendy Wells, deputy recorder at a 2024 planning commission meeting in Saratoga Springs, Utah. Well, maybe that's not her. Wendy, I mean, Wells is a very, very common last name. So let's go Wendy Rachel Wells. Wendy, let's go Ryan and Wendy Wells. Utah. Ryan Wells, an American for Utah. Then another one says he's 45. It's hard to find like the for sure. That's why I like to use those you know, official. In the video, it was said he worked with school. That's true. Where? Can you tell me a timestamp? Because you know they're going to try to sue me and say I'm violating their privacy and doing conspiracy theories. So if y'all can let me know exactly, Wendy Rachel Free, y'all said, exactly where the timestamp is and which video. Tell me which video it is. Preferably with a title from Bam Sucks or something else. If you can tell me. People are saying he's an elementary school principal. Thank you for the $2 Canadian blah blah. Thank you to Bryce for the $1.99. He is an elementary school principal. I know you from over there. Let's try that. Are you sure? 2 days ago? No freaking way. You got to be making this up. This ain't him. Where's Prairie North? Prairie Norton. Southwestern City Schools? Is this even Utah? Ohio. This is Ohio. This ain't him. Which school? Is that him? I don't know I don't know. All I know is it's Ryan McKean Wells. AFK entity? I don't know why I would need to look for that because it shows who owns the house. Thank you for the $2. No, you cannot see my ID. Thank you for the $2. You have screenshots of the exact Airbnb listing. Okay, good. Was it one of the trustees? Wendy. It was. Solar Mosaic LLC has an association on the property record for that address on the Utah document site. Okay, let me go to that. Just closing some tabs out here. Solar Mosaic LLC. They got a Solar Mosaic Inc. Steve Narsutis. Where does the address show up? This says Olive Avenue. This doesn't say that address. He is the only witness to the warrant and the only reason it got signed. He's in deep as you can be at this point. How did you find the middle name? I looked into him for hours and didn't find one. Right here. bmiwebdocs.utahcounty.gov. All this. This is public record. Who owns the house? It's Ryan McKean Wells. Oh, sorry. Womp womp. This is a public document. As you can see, it was recorded publicly on July 8th, 2022. And Ryan McKean Wells as trustee of the RMW Revocable Trust, and Wendy Rachel Wells as trustee of the WRW Revocable Trust, both of 891 North 150 West American Fork, Utah. I mean, this is 50% interest in the below tract of land. Roberts Estate, Plat 1, tax ID number. So this is a public document. And this is public record, and that's how I found it out. Live with y'all. Solar Mosaic, real property owner. Search Ryan Wells McKean. Okay, let me try that. Wait. On what? What am I supposed to be searching that on? Okay. So anyway, all right, enough of that for now. Next topic. Well, let me get to some of these. Thanks so much to Shmuel Buckman for the $1.99 violation by landlord. Ben, I think Ben had a reasonable expectation of privacy. I do think that. I do. Fun fact, the car search was over 14 times longer than the house search. Over 20 minutes versus about 86 seconds. 14 times longer than the search without a warrant than with. Huh, that is interesting. Thank you, Derp, for the $5 super chat. Airbnb. Sputuk Gmail gave me the exact coordinates. Thank you so much for the £4.99 and for the £4.99 again. If you get the right person, they should have something to do with hydro dipping things, as that is what the cops said they knew him through. Oh, okay. Liquid Concepts. No, that's Brian. Okay, I'm going to look more into that when I get off stream. Thank you so much. Please also look at the wife. She's also a trustee, might be by marriage. That's kind of what I thought too. Thank you so much to Darth Tater's mom for the $5. Thank you to Pyrex for the $1.99 check. Davidson Defense. What is that? An AR-15 store. Oh my. I had to say I was over 21 to get in here. I'm scared. Who's this for? American Fork, Utah. Who owns Davidson Defense? I can't pull it up on the screen. Davidson Defense Distribution? Warehousing, storage, sporting goods store. They have a pawn store. They have a pawn store. Jessica Woodward and Garth Davidson. This does not look to be to do with them. Garth Davidson again. I don't think this has to do with them, or if you know something I don't. Thank you for the 199. Thank you, Nerdy Dog Mom, for the 199. National Guard together. He overheard, not taped. National Guard together. Oh, okay. Thank you for the 199. Thank you to No You Cannot See My ID for the $2. I just posted the link for the Airbnb in the chat. I don't know if I'll be able to click it or find it. Thank you for the $2. Thank you to Binky Sphinx for the $2 super chat. Compare pictures of the Airbnb host with the principal. I don't know if I have the Airbnb host picture. I don't have that. Airbnb listed him as a principal. Oh, it did it? Okay, good to know. Thank you for the 199, Bryce. Okay, so we have some other stuff that we need to get to. I talked about that. I talked about the visualizer. I talked about them. All right, so let's reorient. Let's get back to the web. Because this will take us to our next destination. It always kind of leads back lately to Legally Mine. And look, I started a little collage here. Isn't that fun? A little collage. That's David Gibb. That is Dan McNeff. That's his son, Matt, and his other son, Ammon. We know them. We know of them. There is Joshua Johnson. And then right below him is former special agent and former lead educator at Legally Mine, Art McComber. Isn't that cute? Now, of course, there's a lot more people need to go on there, but, things take time. So we have Legally Mine. We have AKA Legally Mine USA, AKA Vale Corp, AKA Centra Wealth Solutions. Used to be called Legally Mine. Now it's called LM Old Co. LLC. New Legally Mine has been formed. We all know this. Okay. I did see this video right here. This is Dan. I did see it. But it's like an hour long. I wasn't trying to spend all my time on live, on videos, things like that. But a lot of people have been pestering. Y'all been pestering me to the point of harassment. Just kidding. That was a callback from yesterday. So I figured, you know what? Yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a listen. Let's take a look. Oh my God. The man is cringe.com. Okay. So this is one of those Legally Mine asset protection guarantee, type of things. Okay. This is one of them. I think we should listen first few minutes. Let him talk. I'm going to put him on normal speed because I want y'all to hear what this man sounds like. This is the father of the owner of Bricks and Minifigs. This is the co-owner of Legally Mine, who co-owned Legally Mine at the time that Ammon and his brother Matt, who now have Bricks and Minifigs, they all owned Legally Mine together. Josh Johnson worked at Legally Mine. His co-owner over there at Fortress Management worked at Legally Mine. Okay, so Legally Mine, what in the hell even is it, right? I mean, that's the question we kind of started this investigation with on, I think it was the first or second day. So let's listen up to what types of things they actually be saying at these presentations, shall we? Keep what you earn. This video has 3.3 thousand views. I think it has way more now. When I first came across this video, I think it had like 282 views.
Welcome to our Legally
And it's from 2022.
Mine presentation today. I'm grateful to have you all here. I'm sure you've all heard the phrase at one time or another in your life, the only two guarantees in life are death and taxes. How many of you have heard that? Okay. Well, for the successful professional, we're going to add one
already falling
additional
asleep.
guarantee.
One additional guarantee.
And that guarantee is a guarantee of lawsuits. Because if you have success, especially financial success, that's what I'm talking about, the simple fact is, if you are financially successful, somebody else wants what you have. And the easiest way to get what you have is to sue you. So what's the third element? If you were financially successful in America, there are three.
I do think it is kind of like, you know, we do live in a very litigation happy society, but these people are obsessed. These people are freaking obsessed with lawsuits. They think about it all the time.
Guarantees: death, taxes, and lawsuits. Okay? I've got good.
Yes, and if you have been here since we started covering the story, and we, you know, on the second or third day of this whole saga, I think it was the second day that I covered this, we already heard Natalie. Remember I told you to keep her in mind? We already heard about her. Remember we already heard about Natalie? And I told you to keep her in mind. So we heard her. She's the one talking about 15, 17-year-old son, pool party, girlfriend, something, goofy card number 4. I mean, it was a whirlwind.
News, and I've got bad news. So let's just start off with the bad news and get that out of the way. I am not going to be able to stop you from dying. That's the bad news. The
Listen
bad
to the,
news
like,
is we're
lapse
all
of
going to die.
sympathy.
You know, and sooner or later it's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to me. It's going to happen. And when one of you comes up with a way to end death, let me know first. You know, I'd like to be the first person, and I'll sign up right away.
I will not. I will not. I'm doing my time, and I'm getting up off this hellhole planet, okay? Ain't nothing you can do to make me stay here a second longer than when my number is punched. I'm out.
But the good news is, I'm going to show you how to eliminate the threat of lawsuits from your life. How many of you would like simply to eliminate the threat of lawsuits from your life? Okay? And the second good news, part of this good news is, I'm going to teach you how to take a massive bite out of your tax bill. How many of you would like to pay less in taxes than you're currently paying?
I feel like I'm on
always get a
Sesame
very
Street.
enthusiastic response to that particular question. We're going to cover a couple of other areas, primarily how to protect your personal estate and your license. But let's get started with lawsuits. The
Please.
simple fact is, the United States is a very litigious society.
Okay, I don't care about
More
this part.
litigious than
We all know that.
anybody who doesn't have.
But this
any
is like,
money.
you know, this is like the scare tactic part of the presentation. This is like, you're going to get sued. Now, we talked last week about, well, maybe it was last week. Yeah, I think we talked last week about the unauthorized practice of law and how Joshua Johnson might be doing the unauthorized practice of law, possibly. I don't know, but I'm going to report, you know, and I had reported a lot of that stuff to, he read the comment on the video from 4 days ago. What's that mean? Is there actually someone in that room? Yeah, because I could hear coughing. Okay, so we talked about the unauthorized practice of law. We also talked about the unauthorized practice of law in the context of Legally Mine, because Legally Mine has been admonished by the Ohio State Bar Association for the unauthorized practice of law. Not only Legally Mine had to pay fines and things, it was actually Dan. Look how happy he looks. Duper's delight. And so I wanted to fast forward to like the 23 minute 53 second mark or so, and I want y'all to tell me. Let me put a poll up, because I don't want them saying that I made a claim. I want y'all to vote, and you tell me if you think, based on this man's statements, he would be a lawyer. Oh, Sheldon Norcross did an interview 2 hours ago? I'm gonna have to watch that. Okay, hold on. I need to put my poll up for y'all.
Imagine.
Excuse me. Why can't I scroll down? Oh, this is dirty. YouTube is making me watch an ad on my own channel before I can post a poll. They are crazy. Okay. Start poll. Don't answer the poll yet. All right. Until I say answer the poll. Okay? When I say answer the poll, then answer it. Otherwise, I'm going to mess the poll up. Would you think, based on Dan's statements here, he was a lawyer / attorney? Don't answer the poll yet, please, because I'm going to mess it up. All right, here we go.
It gives the judges the right to dissolve your LLCs at will. Okay? That is a scary thought. Now, we have, fortunately, some asset protection states. The 3 best-known asset protection states are Delaware, Wyoming, and Alaska. Used to be Nevada, but guess what? Nevada passed the same law, giving judges the right to dissolve your LLC.
So he just got done with this whole Alaska section.
At will. So all of the asset protection attorneys of boutique firms throughout the country, we're all using Nevada. They all shipped it out of Nevada, and guess where they went? They went to Alaska. And the reason they go to Alaska is because Alaska has the strictest charging order, or the hardest protection available for the LLC. And number 2, they will not allow the corporation to be dissolved. Your LLC cannot be dissolved by their courts. Now, there's a law of reciprocity.
Reciprocity. Wait, did I miss it?
Used to be Nevada, but guess what? Nevada passed the same law, giving judges the right.
Hold on. I think I missed it. He talked about how Utah was the most conservative state in the whole country. That was weird. Okay, hold on. Here's all asset protection attorneys. Okay, let me see. Okay, it was weird. Okay, yeah, I missed it. Okay, I have to pay. I have to lock in. Okay, lock in.
Asset protection states are Delaware, Wyoming, and Alaska. Used to be Nevada, but guess what? Nevada passed the same law, giving judges the right to dissolve your LLCs at will. So all of the asset protection attorneys of boutique firms throughout the country,
all of the asset protection attorneys. Now the transcript has it saying the boutique firms throughout the country. I hear with my ears all of the asset protection attorneys at boutique firms throughout the country. We are all using Nevada. We, asset protection boutique, I'm going to let y'all listen to it again at least once more. Listen up.
Asset protection states are Delaware, Wyoming, and Alaska. Used to be Nevada, but guess what? Nevada passed the same law, giving judges the right to dissolve your LLCs at will. So all of the asset protection attorneys of boutique firms throughout the country, we're all using Nevada.
All of the asset protection attorneys at boutique firms across the country, we're all using Nevada. What are y'all saying on the poll? I gotta know. I voted yes one. He said we. I'm gonna do it again. Please, I don't want anybody to say I'm accusing someone of doing something.
Asset protection states are Delaware, Wyoming, and Alaska. Used to be Nevada, but guess what? Nevada passed the same law, giving judges the right to dissolve your LLCs at will. So all of the asset protection attorneys of boutique firms throughout the country, we're all using Nevada. They all shipped it out of Nevada, and guess where they went? They went to Alaska. And the reason...
So anyway, I'm just curious. Is that the unauthorized practice of law? Is that representing to those people there? He is a lawyer? Let me go to Echo Base Network. It looks like they put out an exclusive interview with Sheldon. Okay, this is their channel. I am subscribed. Oh, I need to sign into my other channel so we don't have to watch an ad. Hold on. It says exclusive interview. Reckless Ben's teammate speaks out, and they have been doing a good job of interviewing. They interviewed another guy who used to own one of the franchises. I think they interviewed him twice. Reckless Ben's teammate speaks out. Sheldon Norcross exclusive interview. Oh my God, it's 43 minutes long. I ain't gonna watch this whole thing, I tell you that. But let's see what they doing in here.
Talking to somebody who was actually there. He's appeared in videos. He's worked alongside Ben in the investigation, and he
Okay.
found himself in the middle of the controversy when the police seized his phone. In part one of our exclusive interview,
Are MLS and Valhalla having Sheldon tonight? I don't know. I'm going on there next week. I'll be going on there. I'll be building my first Lego set. I mean, I obviously used to build Lego sets like with my cousins or whatever when I was a kid, but I didn't have Legos. Like somebody acted like they really didn't believe that. They were like, you're lying. You had Legos in your house. I really did not. I might have had the big ones for toddlers, the big ones, but I really did not have Legos. I really did not. I had Barbies, I had Barbie houses, I had baby dolls. I did not have Legos. I really did not. Polly Pockets, Tamagotchi.
Sheldon Norcross joins us here at Echo Base
TY
Network
Beanie
to talk
Baby.
about his relationship with Reckless Ben, what happened behind the scenes, and the phone seizure that became one of the biggest moments in the story. This is part one of our exclusive interview with Sheldon Norcross.
No, yeah, I just got interrogated for 6 hours.
Oh
Good
my
about
God,
walking my
6
goodness.
hours?
It was night by the time they let me out.
Here with the Sheldon.
Just gonna watch a little bit of this. Obviously, this just came out, and they deserve the credit, they deserve the views, and they deserve the hype and stuff. So I just want to watch a little bit of it, and y'all should go and check out Echo Base Network. They do good work over there. They are doing a lot of coverage on this, and they do get exclusives.
Norcross, who is
Yeah.
on
And generally, they know how to act. So it's from what I could see so far, which is a good thing.
Reckless Ben's team. You've seen him in all the videos. He's had some very interesting moments happen. We're going to get into all that. Yeah. We got a multiple part series that we're getting into. We want to.
I don't think Sheldon is. Well, what does named mean? Named in it or sued in it? Let's see. Is he named in the RICO case? No, he's not. The person who's named Benjamin Paul Schneider, Reckless Ben LLC, Brian Mansell, Victor Nguyen, and Doe's 1 through 15. But Sheldon is not named as a named defendant, no.
Start with, Sheldon, your relationship with Reckless Ben. A lot of people who have been watching, a lot of people who just recently got into the story themselves, the story that you can't put down. So for people who only know you from Ben's videos, first of all, who is Sheldon Norcross?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm an aspiring comedian. I just
He is funny.
have been told countless times at every one of my jobs I should either be a streamer or a comedian because I'm a pretty funny guy.
He is funny.
So yeah, I guess that's a little about me. I'm a recovered heroin addict.
Oh, wow.
I have
Good for you.
5 years clean or something like that.
I got a buddy
Good
that
job.
went down that road. It's rough.
Well, congratulations, man.
remember.
That's great.
Fantastic. 14.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I grew up
Did he say got on that when he was 14?
or something like that.
I got a buddy that went down that road.
Damn.
It's rough.
Well, congratulations, man. That's great.
14. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I grew up with a really bad crowd. I'm in one of the worst towns in America and stuff.
Which one?
I really my dream is to not be here anymore.
Aw,
I've been held up at gunpoint 4 times just walking down the street.
Sheldon.
Oh, good God.
I had to tackle a gun out of a guy's hand to save my friends' lives before. Yeah, I just live Brockford, Illinois. It's one of the worst towns in the whole,
Illinois.
I feel like, country.
I know Rockford. I used to live in Hanover Park, right outside of Schaumburg. But yeah, I'm familiar with Rockford. I was,
Yeah,
on,
man,
I was on the northwest side of Chicago.
With your past, walking into a Bricks and Minifigs ain't nothing.
Yeah.
That's easy
the
work.
cakewalk.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You'd be surprised. Some of the
did
stuff
not know
we've done,
that.
it's pretty hard to do, especially delivering the package. That was
Yeah.
the problem is we had hundreds of hours of footage. So like how crazy I felt like that was at the time got, edited out, excuse me.
Yeah.
But it was like really intense. It was also like really fun. Like it's like the best feeling ever, like mission complete. You know what I mean? You're like so stoked
Absolutely.
afterwards. It's so fun.
That's good stuff. So a lot of people are wanting to know online, how did you and Ben first meet? I mean, how long have y'all been friends? It looks like from Nick and I have been best friends for 30
Since middle school.
34 years.
Yeah,
Wow,
since
that's
seventh
like
grade.
almost as long as
So
I've been alive.
it looks like y'all been friends a long time. How did you guys first meet?
Oh yeah,
Y'all, I'm gonna be 36 this year. I'm gonna scroll forward. Let's go to the 13-minute mark.
at McCaney Manor, what he does to Russ. I don't know if
That
you
was
guys are aware of
such
that
a good
series.
series.
I've not seen it.
It
You've
was
not
so
seen it. It's
good.
like him and Danny Burke are so beast for that. Danny's like
Golly,
a
it's
super good guy
good.
too. We talk sometimes. I really like Danny. He's like, unbelievably beast. And they go after this guy. And I had seen McCaney Manor on TV when I was like 15, and it's this haunted house that this guy made up. He made it up. It wasn't real. And Ben proved that this guy said he had the world's largest
Police officers and train them properly, because those guys in American Fork are out of control.
It definitely appears that way.
Yeah.
You know, definitely appears that way.
No, absolutely. No, they suck. They were the dumbest cops I've ever ran into in my whole life.
Yeah, they were horrible. Let me see. Okay, we are doing a subscriber-thon for him. Did y'all all go subscribe over there to Sheldon? Oh my God, we got to get him out of Rockford, Illinois. Jesus. He just started doing his channel. Yeah, okay, 7.25. We're moving on up. Okay, it's got to get a little bit it's got to get moving a little faster though. It's not moving fast enough. We got to get in there by Friday, we thought. That's what I thought. Anyway, shout out to him. I'm going to watch that a little. I'm going to watch that later when I get off stream, but I'm glad that they did that interview. I'm glad that they are getting the exclusive interviews over there, and I am more than happy to let other people do that and then just react to them. Okay, let's see. I wanted to show y'all another lawsuit, at least one. I wanted to show y'all at least one more lawsuit that I came across. We're going to have to be doing a new lawsuit every day if we're ever going to get to all of them. I'm just accessing it in the right file. I kind of forget where I put some of these. Okay, hold on. Okay. So believe it or not, this is a lawsuit from last year, 2025, December 2025. And it is a lady by the name of Simona Marie. I'm going to pull up the complaint here. And it's against Legally Mine. Now, I thought this one was interesting because it gives us a little bit more context. So Simona Marie, Legally Mine LLC is who she's suing. She sued in small claims court in Orem. And she sued for, I think, about $3,000. Now, interestingly, she is from Washington, but she still sued in Utah for $3,300 plus fees and costs. So it'll be $3,400. Okay. So here is her complaint. It's not as long as the ones that we have been reading, but it is sort of similar. Put some threes in the chat if you at any point in this start to feel like you have deja vu. The events happened September 26, 2025. My claim is based on the following facts. I heard about Legally Mine LLC at a wound conference in Seattle in June 2017. I am a physician and I was interested in the family limited partnership in order to protect my assets against any potential legal actions. I contacted their office and the FLP, the family limited partnership, was established. We, my husband Thomas Lewis and I, set up 3 companies. Okay, so I did look these companies up too and determined that the registered agent for service of process was LMRA Services, which is the Alaska corporation that is owned by Dan McNeff, 100%. So she's like, I set up 3 companies through, with Legally Mine as their client or whatever. Siguranza, Bankasibani, and Domicilulio. Okay, so she sets these companies up, 2 in Alaska, 1 in Utah. Legally Mine, she said, acted as my registered agent, which it wasn't Legally Mine. It was actually LMRA Services. I went and checked. During all these years, and they were in charge with the initial documents and renewals of the mentioned entities. Okay, so they were supposed to. So Legally Mine sold her one of these packages at a wound care conference. In the first 2 years, later we opened another entity, Altcont LLC, which acted as a management company. Now, if we were to actually have the stamina to sit through that Dan, what's his name, Dan McNeff conference speech presentation we just were on for a few minutes, he talks about family LLPs and management companies and general partners and limited partners and all and all of that. So this is kind of following along with that sort of like playbook. Later, we opened another entity, AltCont LLC, which acted as a management company for a life insurance policy. Who sold him the life insurance policy? I need to know. Was it MediSource? The main company in the family limited partnership was, I'm just going to call it SIG LP. In the first 2 years, except 2 months in 2018 when I paid monthly fees, I paid lump sum every year for Legally Mind's services. But after that, I paid them every month $150. Everything went well for the first several years, and I was notified. Okay, well, look, at least we're getting that as a review. First several years, everything went well. She said I was notified by Legally Mind when I needed to renew the entities. I used to communicate with a man named Dustin Thacker, who was sending me reminders for renewals, and everything was working fine, or at least I thought. Uh-oh. In 2025, we decided to cancel those entities, and I decided to cancel being a client of Legally Mind. We just wanted to simplify our lives. As a note, we canceled AltCont LLC in 2022 because we didn't need the company because we surrendered the life insurance policy. On August 28th, 2025, I texted and left a message with Legally Mind informing them about the decision to cancel being their client. I get a call back the next day and I speak with Lindsay Thompson. Okay, that's the new like manager / president / the one who's got his face actually still on the website last I checked. With that big bushy beard. I like a beard, no shade. I'm just describing what he looks like in case, you didn't know who I was talking about. So he calls her back the next day. He offered to cancel the entities, but he's not going to let you off the hook that easy. You still have to pay for 4 more months. I was told, says this lady, I was told that I need to continue to pay Legally Mind for another 4 months. I refused, and I told him that I will cancel the entities myself, and I'll cancel being a client of them. The last payment of $150 was done on August 29th, 2025. Okay, so she tried to cancel on August 28th. On August 29th, they still charged her. So she's like, all right, fine. On September 26th, I tried to cancel that company myself, SIG. I went to the Alaska Secretary of State website and I found with surprise that the company was dissolved already a year before, more than a year. June 3rd, 2024. I called the Alaska Secretary of State and I was told that the certificate just wasn't renewed. It was supposed to be renewed every 5 years, but they didn't do it. She said, unfortunately, I was never notified by Legally Mind, my registered agent, about the renewal. I called Legally Mind immediately and I left a message for Dustin, her point of contact. He called and he did admit that it was Legally Mind's error. Okay, so they don't even do their job. They advertise and charge people for good. Oops. Whoops. I was incoherent. I was pissed. I called Legally Mind immediately. I left a message with Justin. He called back and admitted it was their error. They did not notify me about the renewal. I expressed concern about this lapse because I had been filing taxes with the IRS for a non-existent company. The following day, I submitted to the Alaska Secretary of State the articles of dissolution for Banca, and then on the 26th of 2025, I canceled the other one with Utah. The process was very easy and had no issues doing it, and the company was dissolved on September 30th, 2025. Due to the fact that that SIG company, which was the base of the whole family limited partnership, the Alaska company, that one wasn't renewed. It no longer existed. The whole thing they sell you about putting everything in the thing in Alaska and then Alaska can't pierce the corporate veil, blah, blah, blah. They let that lapse. She said the base of the family limited partnership wasn't renewed, so it no longer existed. I paid Legally Mine for the maintenance of the FLP, the family limited partnership, from June 2024 to August 2025 for something that did not exist. On September 29th, 2025, I emailed Dustin again. I requested a refund. He gave me Lindsay Thompson's email, the accounts manager. I emailed him asking for a refund, but I was only asking for the monthly client fees for the 15 months. Again, the whole foundation was the family limited partnership in Alaska, and they let that lapse for over a year. She was paying payments on it. She's like, can I get a refund for that? That's all she wanted the refund for, was that. I did not ask for the other expenses. She said, as a note, I am still going to have to file taxes for both entities, SIG and Banca, for 2025 in 2026. This year, she had to file those taxes. But Lindsay didn't answer. I wrote him another email a couple weeks later, October 13th, 2025. I got a call back from him the same day, 20 minutes later, and he told me he'll have to take a look at the matter. She said, because I did not get an answer, I emailed him again a week later, October 20th, and he called back. He denied the refund. He did not give her a refund. He told me verbatim that nothing happened. But he offered a credit for these months, and he told me that their accountants will take care of the filing. He mentioned Legally Mine had worked in the beneficial ownership information reports for my entities. I agreed, and I told Lindsay we can subtract the fees for the months when Legally Mine did the beneficial ownership information reports. But I told him I still don't want their services anymore, and I don't want no credits. She said, I want a cash refund. I ended the call, she says, saying that I will email him my final decision. I wanted to have everything in writing. I emailed him on October 31st, 2025, asking for a refund for the client fees, 15 months minus the 3 months when they worked on those beneficial ownership documents. Plus, she was like, look, I wasn't trying to get a full refund. I will pay for the stuff they did, but I was just trying to get my money back for the stuff they didn't do. Up until now, Lindsay and Legally Mine have not answered. Due to their negligence, my assets were not covered since June 2024, which was the principal reason for me being their client and paying them every month. During this time, I paid for a service on a family limited partnership which no longer existed. Lindsay offered me a credit, agreeing they owed me. But because I did not want their services anymore, I refused, and I asked for a cash refund. This is why I decided to file a small claims court lawsuit. In order to get my money back, I'm requesting the following. Monthly client fees for 15 months. I even subtracted the fees for 3 months. During these months, Legally Mine worked on the beneficial ownership reports. The value would come to $1,800. I want the filing fee for Buckhansonabi, whatever it is, LLC, the SIG company, $100. So it adds up all to $3,300 plus her fees and the costs from this court. And she filed this less than 6 months ago. Simona Marie. So we now have covered another lawsuit. Thanks so much to Blah Blaha for the $5 Canadian. It's not Hydra dipping. Hydra is a tactical, Hydara. Oh, okay. Good to know. Tactical training thing. Okay, interesting. Thank you for the $5 Canadian. Thanks so much for the $1.99 2012 Jameson. Texas attorney and Bricks and Figs also defamed Ben. Maybe he'll sue for defamation. Thanks so much to Bryce for the $1.99. Mosaic is a solar lending firm. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Please. Thank you for the $1.99 Super Chat, Jameson, 2012 Jameson. Claiming someone does illegal drugs is defamation. Yes, it is. Well, it could be. Because if somebody does do illegal drugs, then it's not defamation. Like if it's true. But Ben says he doesn't. Ben has said he doesn't. So I am like, okay, so here's the thing. I've seen enough Reckless Ben videos now to know that it hasn't even gotten as crazy as it's going to get. Because so far, all Ben was really trying to do was serve some papers. Like, now that they've dragged him into court like this, I have a feeling he is going to scorch the entire earth. He is going to come up with some stuff that I never would have thought of. He is going to go to Petty Town. That's just what I think. Thank you, Bryce Johnson, for the $1.99. I will look into that. Search Joshua Johnson age management medicine. We have looked at that quite a few times already. It is one of the few things where he's like still remaining up online as this like presenter type personality. Now, a bunch of people have been saying that he owns this company. That's not, I don't think that's what's going on here. I think it was just a presenter, and, you know, they're calling it like a educator, faculty, an esteemed entrepreneur. Look, educator, Fortune law firm. Joshua Johnson is an esteemed entrepreneur and expert in the realm of advanced tax strategies and asset protection, but he don't even have his own damn house in a trust. Through his insightful presentations, he has empowered professionals to effectively lower their tax liabilities and minimize their exposure to lawsuits. His personalized and innovative approach to tax planning and asset protection has been instrumental in transforming the financial futures of numerous doctors and business owners around the country. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you to Pyrex for the $1.99. Ryan's a system administrator at Davidson Defense. That's true. Ryan Wells, system administrator. But it says chief. That's not him. Surely that's not him. There's a lot of Ryan Wells in Orem, it looks like. Thank you, blah, blah, for the $2 Canadian. The gold refers to the package version. Have a few. Yeah, the video. Thank you to 2012. Thank you to 2012 Jameson. As a lawyer, can I vote? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Also, thank you again for the $1.99. Also, as an attorney, he is not using good law. Y'all heard it from the attorney out here, practicing attorney, 2012 Jameson. Thank you for the $1.99. This is not good law. I think that's why they keep getting sued. One of the reasons. Thank you to Salt and Exile for the $10. Gold Street shirt. What is this? A lot of articles about this address being used for scams. Okay, that's interesting. Thanks so much. Thank you to No You Cannot See My ID for the $5 super chat. Can I give a quick rundown on anti-SLAPP laws? How do they work? I could do a quick one, yeah. So anti-SLAPP, it stands for anti-SLAPP. SLAPP is a strategic litigation against public participation. So a lawsuit that is filed to strategically stop someone from exercising a right that has to do with public participation. So a lot of times this ends up being anti-speech lawsuits that go against the First Amendment right to free speech, but really it is public participation, not only speech. So when especially somebody avails themselves to the public, like for example, when Joshua Johnson had on his little bio that he is an esteemed professional and a prominent figure in the world of asset protection, when people avail themselves to the public, when they make public advertisements about issues of public concern, like what people do with their taxes, when they involve the police, when they rely on taxpayer funding, these are all things that the public, as the public, we have the right to talk about. Now, a SLAPP lawsuit is filed primarily, in my experience, what I've seen is to silence somebody, to shut somebody up. I believe that the lawsuit, the civil RICO against Ben, it really will ultimately end up being a textbook anti-SLAPP lawsuit, especially when it comes to the defamation part. Now, sometimes people can do some civil torts and be found liable for them, but still the lawsuit filed against them can still have parts of it that are considered to be SLAPP. Most of the time, most states that have the anti-SLAPP protection in place has what's called a fee shifting statute or a fee shifting mechanism. What that basically means, and this is, generally speaking, not all states have an anti-SLAPP law, and there is no federal anti-SLAPP law as of yet. I think there should be. But like California has a really robust one. New Jersey just got one a couple years ago. So it goes, all across the board, and some still have none. Most of the anti-SLAPP statutes, including in the state of Utah, importantly, which is where this lawsuit is being brought against Ben, have a fee shifting provision. So if the person or the party or the entity who brings the lawsuit in the first place, if it is determined to be a SLAPP suit, a strategic lawsuit against someone else's public First Amendment rights, participating publicly in those rights, the person who sued has to pay attorney's fees and usually costs. Utah has this. So usually there's going to be a fee shifting provision, and usually in the anti-SLAPP, you can motion, the way that it is designed to work is that you don't have to go to discovery. You don't have to turn over your cell phone records. You don't have to turn shit over to them. You immediately out the gate file an anti-SLAPP motion. You don't have to collect $200. You don't have to pass go. All you have to do is file the anti-SLAPP lawsuit. Most of the time, like for example, in California, it will stay discovery. So that would mean, the person who sued will not be able to, give me your cell phone records, give me your bank account, give me your answers to interrogatories until the judge decides on the anti-SLAPP. So anti-SLAPP lawsuits are brought whenever somebody is trying to interfere with somebody else's rights to participate in a public discussion, we'll say. The defendant, the person getting sued, will then file a motion pursuant to or under the anti-SLAPP law of the relevant forum, the state, jurisdiction, and then the judge will decide. Sometimes the judge will dismiss portions of a lawsuit and allow portions to go forward to trial. But this all happens at the pre-trial stage and the pre-discovery stage. So it is designed to allow people to not have to spend all this money to go through discovery and go through depositions and go through pre-trial and go through jury selection, like all of that. And then you are also supposed to be awarded your attorney's fees as well, usually. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Okay, I think this is getting conflated, Chris. So I think what you're talking about, Chris Richter, is the treble damages statute. And treble damages are actually attached to civil RICO. So if you are able to sue someone under the RICO statute, which Bricks and Minifigs did to Ben, if you're able to sue someone under the civil RICO statute and you win, that's when you get 3 times. That's when you get 3 times the award. I don't know if anti-SLAPP statutes have a treble damages provision. Maybe some states do, maybe Utah does. I haven't looked into it closely, but I do know there have been some lawyers out there who have BAM franchising. Yeah, I don't get what that's about. Yeah, I did know that. Why could they making a point? Just be done wisely with the word and allegedly. Wait, hold on. They were trying to act like they had in the car, which everyone knows is a way to lawfare him. Okay. I'm tired, so I think that's all I'm going to do today. I'll see y'all next time. Keep sending the emails. I definitely have gotten all of the emails. As you can imagine, it's been pretty difficult to get through all of them. It's a lot of stuff to get through. And then on live, it is kind of exhausting as well. But I am having fun, and I do feel #blessed and highly favored to be able to do this as my job. It's really fun, and it is really cool to be able to do it. Another day exposing the bad guys and doing what they invited us to do. Nobody out here investigates truly, Dan McNeff said. Well, let's make Dan proud. Don't send any hate to anybody mentioned in this video. Don't send any comments. Don't even go over there and talk to them. If you do, I'm going to testify against you in court. They're going to come after me for it. They're going to sue me for it. Just don't do it. Okay? I completely denounce. I completely renounce. Nobody speaks for me except me. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty.